Oh, hi.
To Gorthos and
Hold on.
Gorthos, because Zelda is going to be sacrificed on an
Hold
altar
on.
at some point and you're going to need some fate-altering bullshit. And Marco, because for some odd reason I'm getting the feeling hey you're going to pull a bard.
I don't know if anybody notices this in the other things, but for some reason I can't get the text-to-speech to come off of donations, so I decided to just go with it and let the text-to-speech run. We just got $120 from Eggy River.
Oh,
Said to Gorthos and Marco, Gorthos, because Zelda is going to be sacrificed on an altar at some point and you're going to need some fate-altering bullshit. And Marco, because for some odd reason I'm getting the feeling he's going to pull a bard. Does that mean you're gonna like bard memes? You gonna go fuck a dragon or something? That what's going on? Also, it's really funny for the text-to-speech because it always replaces all the bad words.
And I thought about it, but there hasn't really been an option for Mark when it comes to the fucking dragons category of thing.
Like whenever someone tried to say penis in a text-to-speech thing, it came out as unicorn. And like vagina was like kitty. Yeah. Penises are mythical creatures. But yes, hello, thank you, Eggy, for the sub. We're playing some Zelda today. Hello, everybody. We're back.
hello.
We've been gone a little while because of Eric.
That is expressly not why.
Just because of Eric. No other reasons. But yes,
I will not be the bad guy in this.
you are forever. You did it. You did this. Everybody, no. We are going to start up because we're already running a little bit late today. Because of Eric.
Nope.
So
Try again.
Anthony.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nico, we can go extra. I don't have a job anymore.
That's true. Squeaky doesn't have a
I'm
job
done.
anymore, guys. Let's go! Woo!
I honestly am okay with going
Yeah.
longer tonight if necessary.
All right. Yeah. Squeaky's unemployed. Woo! Anyway, so
Yeah.
to be fair, it's probably a good thing because either they're going to find something a lot better or they're going to give them a lot more money. So it's great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're gonna switch over. Here we go.
Wait, what? He says, yeah, I made a whole stream talking about it on Saturday.
Yeah. Go over to the Squeaky Shiona streams, and look at that VOD.
Live screamer.
Live screamer.
Why no, not that kind.
Welcome to the Zelda room. It's changed. It's a big square now. It's basically I've decided that we don't need a floor. We have everything just covered at this point. We needed more room. We have it now. Everything's great. And there's a couple of things we need to give you guys today. One of them is something that we've been waiting to hand off to a player for a little while. And I suppose I'll drag it over to them right now. Just to ruin their synergy. Perfect.
Thank you so much for my new card.
You
Put it right there.
fool. You've made room for new growth.
Now we can get 2 more cards. I mean, technically, if we put it over here, then
Yeah, but I'm not gonna.
you have.
That's
the
where
2 cards.
Obra stuff goes.
I'm not Obra, gosh. But yes, you'll find that this card requires no Doritos.
Oh.
But this card is something that may change how you play Ronin forever. So why don't you go ahead and flip that over? It's the Song of Storms!
Let's go.
I had to remake the golden letters thing, and it's not the perfect, but I did it.
It's
But yeah.
sure how special this one is.
This one's so much more special. If you actually can read highly, and it says the best song in the game. When playing the song, The minstrel calls storm clouds and winds from far off to impede and strike against their foes. With each action used on the minstrel's turn, a new effect can be added to the storm. Wind. For each action used from the minstrel, for the remainder of the fight, all enemies turns they take on all enemies' turns they take 1 wind damage or are pushed away. So while you're doing this, you're like, I'll use a turn to do a wind. Then you, for the rest of the fight, add an extra 1 wind damage to all of your foes for the remainder of the fight. You just cost more actions. 1 turn, 3 damage to everybody. 2 turns, 6 damage to everybody.
Better hope we don't fucking fight nothing near a cliff. Because they're fucked.
Then we go to rain. When called, hold on, our music went off. I'm just gonna turn it back on. When called, a heavy rain comes from all around. This rain can shroud your allies, and as an action, can make an enemy soaked this round. Soaked enemies roll finesse DC 16 or fall prone. Allies can roll instinct when targeted by an attack. If they beat the attack misses. Very nice, very cool. Sand. As an action, deal the damage that an opponent took from wind an extra time as fire damage. You can also make them dry this round. We all know what dry does, so I didn't feel like I had to put it on there. And finally, lightning. With 2 actions, a bolt of lightning will strike a foe. Roll your magic to hit, and the enemy rolls against the total. If they are within 2 points, they take half damage. If they nat 1 or you nat 20, they take double damage. The damage is 2d10 or 4d10 if the opponent is soaked or dry. Lots of d10s, lots of damage, not lots of good.
That's a lot of fucking damage.
Mm-hmm. The caveat being they can half the damage. Also, because it's this, you could have a damage of 2. Like, you know, it's good damage, but only if rolled really good. And finally, each effect in the storm must be used before the next effect. Wind, then rain/sand, and then lightning. If sand is used, then rain ends and vice versa. So you can't have rain and sand on at the same time.
Okay.
So for a first round, you could be like, all right, I'm going to use wind. I'm going to use 1 action for wind, 1 action for rain, and then you don't have 2 more actions unless you have an extra. No, you have 4 actions. So you can go 1 action for wind, 1 action for rain, and then 2 action for lightning if you wanted to. That could be like a full. That could be like a full turn right there. Or you can be like, I'm going to use 4 wind so that every single fucking turn from now on, all of my enemies take 4 damage.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But that is what we have here. That is the Song of Storms. In certain scenarios, the song may be a little bit harder to wield, such as if there's already a storm going on, or if the weather doesn't permit it, like if you are in the middle of the desert, for example, and you try to use rain, it might be a little harder to do. Or if you're not in the desert and you try to use sand, it might be a little harder to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yes, very good, very good. The fun thing about this, I think the most powerful part of this card is going to be the rain. Because not only can you soak people, the soaking causes them to fall prone, but also you will be able to have them be prone for, like, let's say Marco, or let's say Gorthos, or let's say anybody, to fucking Orion, go over and just have all the attacks on them, murder them to death.
While they're on the ground, I'm gonna hit them with lightning.
Very fun. But yes, very fun, very good card. There's another thing I'm going to give to you guys a little bit later on. But for right now, I would like to ask somebody here, does anyone feel confident in telling me what happened last time? That's what I thought.
We talked to gods.
More things happened. More things happened a month ago, guys. Let's see. I guess 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I didn't even tell who was doing what.
You didn't decide who was doing what.
Marco is 1. Gorthos is 2. Ronan is 3. Polo is 4. Marco!
Damn it.
It rolled 1 twice. Marco, what happened in the beginning of the last game?
What happened at the beginning of last game? Well, if I'm remembering when things happened last game, me and Ronan had arrived at the temple in order to inform the king about the fuck we're going to be doing today. And so we informed him. And very much shocked him that, oh hey, we're bringing somebody here to become a fucking god? He's like, okay. Alright, I'll trust your judgment. Weird, but okay.
Weird, but let's see where it goes.
And
It was a while ago.
it was a while ago. This is also the beginning of the game that this had happened on.
Essentially, to paraphrase, everybody was gathering everything they needed to go to the Temple of Time so that you guys could perform whatever duties you needed to be there. One of them of which was taking Demise to go and ascend to godhood. You guys finally had all decided on that, and you decided that's probably what's going to end up happening. Talks were had with several people, going and speaking with Demise. I believe it was Gorthos and Polo, as they had their talks and had their final kind of goodbyes, I guess you would call them. Everybody made their way back to this place. You guys saw that not only was everybody around here who was needed to be here for the ritual to take place, but also a lot of the strong people gathered around Hyrule were here, and you're wondering why is that? Why are all the strong people here? And then you saw Gidam was here, and you're like, oh, okay, that's why all the strong people are here, in case he fucks up, in case he does something really, really sussy bad. You guys ended up calling forth the amount of people you needed to go into such place. You guys went inside with just the main people that you wanted to have things with, the kings, all of you, some of your allies. Some of them ended up going to talk to the gods in their own ways. Some of them were called forth before others, and then some of them waited till the end and were asked if they had any questions, where we are not sure if two of them in particular, or three of them if you count Z, in particular, had any questions, but maybe they did. Maybe they had some talks. I mean, they seemed to be show up around you guys at the end of it, meaning that they must have finished with something. Who knows if they had any questions or comments or complaints or wisecracks. Either way, each of you went in and you had different conversations with some different people, the two of them being mostly just Dompe and what appeared to be the god of travel, the god of the lands, who had called themselves Bandit. I can't remember if you guys gave them another name, but they called themselves Bandit. You guys were able to... Go ahead.
We named them Apple. But it's like we
Latin
named them
word
apple.
for apple, right?
I think it was a Latin or Greek word for apple.
What is it?
I don't remember.
I believe in you.
There's
Oh wait, no, here I wrote it down. Malum?
Malum, yeah.
Malum.
M-A-L-U-M.
L-U-M, okay.
Malum.
You guys were talking with Malum, otherwise known as the god of the lands. You learned that it's because of his blessings that all of the people who have been worshiping him, which are a very few people, were able to traverse the lands in the ways that they wanted. Mostly just being the harem bandits, being able to go through the different hidden landways going around this place. As you spoke to them, you realized all the other gods have abandoned him, and now he has to train the new god all on his own. Luckily for him and luckily for you guys, I suppose, time works differently in the realm of gods. By the time he is going off to train things, Dompe, he was already at that point a god. He came back and spoke with some of you as the god of the night, and was able to give you guys a bit of closure with that going. If you ever need anything, speak to him at night and he will try to give you whatever boons you may ask of him. You guys were able to recharge the Triforce of Power in each of your guys' hands. In doing so, not a lot has gone down. Not a lot has happened because of it yet. but you did see that it started glowing, started having its usual golden luster back as you have done that. Beyond that, everybody sort of got near the end of their conversations. They got at the end of it. Does anybody have anything in particular they feel they want to talk about their conversations? Anything in particular that might have happened or anything of that nature that you feel is important enough? I also don't think talking to gods is important, to be honest with you. I think that I think it's overrated as fuck.
Marco, in fact, recharged the Triforce of Power. That's what Marco did.
Gorthos. Oh, you finish your thing first, Marco.
And he has to bring him his copy of the Master Sword when all of this is over.
Yep. I didn't want you to forget that.
I never would.
I believe Ronan and Polo both reconnected their gods to the divine realm, right?
Sacred. Yes, they did.
They are currently still weakened, but they are now connected, which means you potentially can try to speak with your god again, Ronan, since they had been sort of out of commission for a while since they saved you. And not to mention that, but the Zolaire might potentially have a little bit of extra power as well now. And Gorthos, everything good with you? Everything happened all willy-nilly good?
Gorthos just asked if there was a way to stop this cycle of stop the cycle of good and evil, just to put it to rest and let the world be at peace. No, but you know, I kind of expected that answer, so
yeah. The god of the lands, after you asked that, told you that if there was, he wouldn't want it. Because he feels that having the cycle of good and evil around is what is basically maintaining the idea and the understanding of complete and utter freedom that happens in the world.
Yeah.
But yes, as you
It
did,
was worth that. It's an answer he knew was coming, but it was worth asking.
unfortunately, gods think on a different way than mortals do. It doesn't really affect them whether fucking freaking Ganon's out there destroying everything. That is until, you know, maybe he comes to this world and tries that shit.
Yeah, and then it's your fucking problem. Have fun, bitch.
Like I have so many problems right now. Hopefully my intern here will be trained up enough to handle it.
Bet you're wishing you help now, motherfucker.
Look, I'm swamped with paperwork.
Tonight,
5 gods left to me. 5 gods have left. 6 if you count the windfish. All right, I can't do this.
God of the night, I need to speak to your manager.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Gorthos offered to make actual depictions of him.
Oh yeah.
And he showed up looking like that, and it's like, have you ever thought about pulling your hair back?
Just like pulls his hair back, you just see fucking like the most like Bishojo fucking eyes ever. Just like, oh, it's like, no, put him back. But never mind.
It was like, I can work with this.
Just do
It's
the
fine.
handsome Squidward face for the God of the night.
It doesn't matter, banquet ain't gonna find him anyway.
But yes, you guys have had your conversations with your gods. You guys ended up making your way back outside. Again, you're not sure if some of the other NPCs around you did their questions or not. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Whenever you guys had gotten out of there, a big thing had happened where essentially they were talking about sending Gidan away. However, before you guys had went in there, you guys had stopped Rudan from going in by saying that they have to take care of the prisoner and the prisoner is their responsibility. And the king even said this, not King Magnus. He didn't mess up this time. Faraday.
Faraday, in fact, did a fucky wucky.
At which point, you know, the god of the lands inside was like, you have to deal with your consequence. You have to deal with your words. It's like, I wonder what they mean by that. Afterwards, Rudan's like, oh no, this person belongs to me. I decide what happens to them. At which point,
That's what they meant.
At which point, King Magnus is like, oh, thank God I didn't fuck up. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Bye.
Later, Faraday. You're on your own.
The most fucked up thing in all of this is that King Magnus was never wrong.
It's great.
I was never wrong.
He was never wrong, even about his own fucking daughter. Beyond being overprotective of her, that was the wrong part. But he wasn't wrong that it was his daughter. One day he'll maybe find out.
One day. Hopefully she'll come back before then.
It'll be a long, long time, and we'll be far, far away.
Hopefully Jason and Matilda explain this to him, and they can have a big old laugh about it.
Yeah, that's their whole deal. They can sort that one out.
Currently,
Yeah.
the 3 treasures are in the hands of King Magnus until such a time as he can distribute them to his trusted allies. Currently, he has decided not to distribute them out quite yet until the Gerudo situation has been taken care of. So currently he will keep them to himself. He will keep a lot of people who are strong in his employ and surrounding him at all times. Hopefully nothing will go wrong at that point. I mean, he does have quite a lot of peeps. That being said, those peeps were taken over by a weird spell from the desert, so maybe we should take care of that at some point.
Didn't do anything for him fucking last time.
Don't look in the water anymore.
Just go into a room with no door and look at nothing.
What were you saying, Anthony?
Didn't we also figure out that the other door to the realm of the divine is going to open soon?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we did.
And,
in the spirit
and
temple.
it's fine. The Gerudo can't open unless someone with the mortal goddess's blood can be there.
Yeah, someone
And then
could have,
Gorthos broke. And then he broke the news before. So listen.
they have any person that has the strongest blood of the mortal goddess or anything. It's not like she's there in the flesh.
Luckily, no one would ever be there for that.
I think before his exact words were, Gorthos, fix this.
Fix it. Just like hitting him in the head. Fix it.
She's been forcefully muting herself for like the past day or however long it's been for her. Only to be like, fix it.
Hey, we did it. Good job. We only kind of fucked up. Bad job. But hey, we did it. It's all good. It all worked out.
Listen.
Fine, I guess you did a good job. But actually, wait, there's more.
None of us fucked up though. It was
those 3 that just fucked off to the desert.
Yeah.
Now listen, that part is irrelevant because guess what's my responsibility?
Actually, wait a minute. It's Devori's fault. Because the mortal goddess did not in fact want to go see her friend Devori.
How is that my fault? Crackles with lightning.
I've never done anything wrong in my life.
Because you're so mean to them.
You're right. I should just make sure she's no longer a problem. Lightning appears over the desert.
Maybe just don't be mean to her anymore.
Don't
She would sooner kill them.
It's a lot easier to do it this way.
Why are you like this? Thousands of years of traveling, you don't change.
Oh, I thought it landed on something. I guess I was wrong. But yes, as each of you have now looked about at people who are currently walking out with the king, making sure different things are going on. Faraday going after him like, wait, hold on a second. Gidon standing there, not really understanding what he needs to do, but he's like, I guess. It's like, yeah, what should I do? But like, now that you guys have all settled everything, there's a bit of a commotion happening about. You guys can try to speak with anybody here if you wish. You guys can try to get away from the crowds and head back home if you wish. Currently, you guys are just now out of a crazy conversation you guys have all had. Not to mention, 3 of you in particular, Ronan, Marco, and Polo. You guys feel a strange sense of exhaustion going over you. Not debilitatingly, but enough. Feel a strange exhaustion going through all of you. You probably aren't going to be staying up late tonight.
All my plans.
Gorthos, you're fine.
Okay. If,
You don't have that.
yeah.
There's a little yawn.
Seemed to me that everything went well enough with all of you.
I think they went quite swimmingly.
Yeah, I think so.
That
Really
god's a
tired
little interesting. Sounded like a bit of a pushover, to be honest.
Oh well, I mean, he is holding up all of the world.
I guess they're all types, even in the realm of the gods.
Yeah. End of the day, it just seems like they're people with a lot of responsibilities.
Funny how that works, but yes.
What's the current plan? We've got our answers. We've brought that person into the realm of the gods, and it seems as if everything went all right, at the very least.
We at least seem to have
The
stopped.
sky isn't bleeding or anything.
Mm-hmm. The town isn't on fire as we left the divine realm or anything, thankfully. And it seems like we've, at least from what we understand, have now completely stopped any like huge calamity from the two of those things joining together.
At this point, the
So-
only way that they'll be able to is if there's anything left of them here, or the king fails and loses those treasures, right?
Mhm. At that
There's a
point, it's like there's another god.
I love they're all like just talking around Gorthos, going like, well.
You
so
want me to
there's
say
a
something?
there's a back door.
Of course.
What?
A back door?
The Gerudo Spirit Temple has a door to the divine realm now.
Don't tell me the words you're about to say next.
Okay.
They
Please.
can, the
Please
door
word
can
it wisely.
The door can only be opened in the celestial event that happens in about 5-6 days. What was it, Nico? Was it 6 or 5 days?
If anyone can find the back door, it's the Gerudo.
But
Yeah, 6 days.
It can't 6 days. Yes, 6 days. I think 6 days. And it cannot be opened unless the blood of the royal family is present.
Would Marco technically count because of the blood of the goddess that he has? That is essentially what makes the blood royal, does it not?
So maybe Zelda would definitely open the door with her presence. Incidentally, they seem to turn the entirety of the Gerudo Fortress temple into a new fortress, and Zelda is there.
Ah.
Right,
Oh.
because of what happened with your brother and Rocket. Well, do we know for a fact that the enemy knows about this? The Gerudo may, but do we know for a fact that others do?
Northos can only assume that both Vati and Aghanim have ties to what's happening with the Gerudo at the very least. And any chance to get into the Divine Realm is a very good opportunity for anyone vying for power. Especially with malicious intent like those two.
Even
They
if
may
those
not know-
two aren't the ones in charge of it, I can't say that my sister might not just do bad things on her own.
That too. Maybe taking up a place of a currently vacant goddess of the Sandstill position.
Well, they're not vacant, they're just not there.
Might as well be vacant then.
So, like, at that point, she what? She wanted to leave Hyrule, right? But is also sending people to attack Castletown?
I
don't
think she
understand
wanted
what she
to
wanted.
take it over, right? Isn't that what that whole
They
thing was
said they-
about?
By
they
the way,
said
you
they
guys
were-
have been bringing up, like, leaving Hyrule a lot. The way that I meant it whenever I said it was leaving Hyrule as in leaving the treaty, the
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
breaking the-
seceding,
okay.
but they're all
You meant
they're
that,
taking it
not-
over.
Oh,
They're not
seceding.
They're not physically leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I
You fucked
took
up
in.
with that then.
That's I thought that they're pulling a confederacy kind of sort of thing.
Okay, you said both
I thought
that and that we were informed that they were backing out of the treaty, so we thought both things.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
backing out
so-
the treaty, but a lot of them are supposedly coming here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys.
Now I
You fucked up on
understand.
that. It's also been like months.
Yeah.
We're
I just
good.
wanted to make sure because like this is the second or third time I'd heard it, so I'm like, let's just nip that right now. Let's just.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. They'll crumble in 4 years after they surrender. They'll be outlived by the fucking annoying orange.
Annoying orange. Yeah.
Oh hey, wait a minute.
For some
guys.
reason, and for
I
some
wrote right
reason,
do what?
and for some reason, the flag they have at that point is gonna outlive them by fucking trillions of years.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Slaves'
least the
rights to
thing
do-
lasted less time than that.
States' rights to do what, you fucking traitors?
I love
No.
it.
Now let's not compare the Gerudo to the Confederacy. They're better than that. Anyway.
I know, it's really. I don't know. They took a bunch of men and turned them into slaves. And now they want us to secede the Hyrule Union.
One did it because they were magically inclined to. The other ones did it for cotton. All right.
Magic, yeah.
The magic of money.
What the fuck
Anyway.
are we?
I don't know.
Just
We're
replace
losing the
fucking cotton
plot.
with
We need a
What's
new
the
we need a
difference?
new subtitle for the Zelda game, Zelda Civil War.
Also,
No.
I didn't.
No.
Nobody heard this earlier in the pre-stream. Our 4-year anniversary was like 2 Saturdays ago.
Hey,
did-
we're as long as
we
the Confederacy.
We've outlived the Confederacy.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
fucking go.
That's so funny.
Take that, Grant, you bitch.
Ulysses, more like shut up. I got him.
You please.
We've done way better than they ever. Also, Grant was fine. Sherman was the real hero.
The only Ulysses
And the Pyromancer.
I know is from the Pokemon RP.
What?
Uncle Ulysses is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, one of our like main people in that
Yeah,
game
but-
was named Ulysses. He was great.
I
literally named him that.
Grant, but he's great.
I literally named him that so he could be like a villain and help try to get you guys to think he was a villain, and you guys are just immediately bonded with him. It was great.
We immediately bonded with him. Yeah,
General fucking leader, though. Fuck that guy.
we
He
liked
sucks.
him because he was kind of dumb.
Only kind of.
Yeah.
But that guy from
Anyway.
Fallout.
Anyway,
Anyway,
that was 4 years ago. Let's not talk about that. Anyway.
that was more than 4 years ago.
The before times. Now then, what was I gonna say? So we're on a time limit. We should probably get going. Get everything in order and go.
Is Kuro there yet? Did he do the thing?
He hopes so.
You guys remember that the reason you guys have done this now is because Kuro was supposed to have gotten there sometime today. You're expecting it by tonight.
Yes, let's get all of our affairs in order, hopefully.
Okay, so we take a night and then first thing in the morning, go.
Potentially would be the best option, though, to be fair, with the 6-day limit here, it's really hard to assume anything now. We can
Wait.
assume at that point it's going to be 5 days as of tomorrow, or is tomorrow the 6th?
Today is the 6th.
Then yes, as of tomorrow, we'll have 5 days to do whatever it is we plan to do.
And then how long it takes us to get to the Spirit Temple?
Well, we have
What is
somebody
that?
who's been to the Spirit Temple here. How long do you think it would take them to move all of their things to a new location, Gallon? Well, if they're making a town around the Spirit Temple, going there wouldn't take you any more than a couple of hours, but moving everything there would have been a little bit harder. Once we get to where Kuro should be having us, we shouldn't have a lot of travel time at all unless there's something wrong. last time that we couldn't get to the spirit temple quick enough, it was because the sand seals were mating.
Okay. So
Do not want to get involved in that.
That sounds
yeah,
terrible.
I'll take your word for it.
They're like little
Okay,
sand
so-
traps, little like whirlpools of sand just in the ground. You don't want.
So-
Don't make me relive it. All right, I'll tell you more, Ronan. So while they're in there,
Before thinking that
I thought you didn't want to relive it.
I don't. Don't make me say more. All right,
okay.
but one thing you have to watch out
Anything.
for is you need to know that they move.
So regardless,
Are you enjoying this?
He's fucking with us. Yes,
Yeah, he is. I can tell.
it's traumatic, actually. Magic
So it
Frog,
takes
you
a couple hours
understand
to
me.
get there on foot or by sand seal.
Oh, by foot. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't have a sand seal whenever I went there after they sort of kicked me out and everything was crazy. There's actually a small settlement nearby there as well we can go to. I know that a lot of the men who had escaped there before went there, thanks to my backstory game. Go back and watch it. My mother also went there, so
Okay.
we can either make our way there immediately, or if we feel that we don't need to go and check up there, we can just go straight to the temple. If they have a small settlement outside of there, or if they're living inside the walls there or something, then it shouldn't be too big of a deal. From what they said, though, they were apparently having all those men build like a big wall or something, right?
Should be fine.
How much could they build in this amount of time? It's only been a little bit over half a year, right?
So no,
That's-
there's no seriousness.
how
That's a
hard
good bit of
did
time.
those men?
It's been about
And how?
it's been about 9 months, if not a little bit longer. I don't know
I'm
exactly.
expecting a full-blown wall.
I'm not exactly sure how long I was teleported into motions toward Ronan and Marco.
We went back 2 months, I think.
Go back a
We came
month.
out the forest.
So it's like 9-10 months since I've last seen it.
It's enough time to expect there to be an obstacle.
Mhm.
Well, let's go back and see if Koro's here then. If we can make sure we can set up a doorway tonight, then we can just make our way through tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
I am tired.
Same.
A couple
Same.
of
That
you,
just kind of hit me as soon as we left.
looked pretty rough. Yeah, I was actually going to ask Gorthos if he could do the honors of making the door.
Of
Seems
course.
that a lot of us were fatigued by what happened, and you seem right as rain.
You learn to endure certain strenuous activity. So he'll make the door, no problem.
All right.
You guys want to just pass over everybody here and make your way back home?
Yeah.
Yee.
Hellos, our goodbyes. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Goodbye. See you again soon. Good night.
You guys are able to let everyone know that you're going to be heading back to your place. That going through the things you had gone through was a little tiring, and you'll be sure to catch anybody up or do anything like that with anybody later on. You made sure to let people who are going to be staying with you know where you're going, things of that nature. Out of everybody who is still there, the biggest things you would get from it is that Link said that they would find you guys in just a little bit. They wanted to still look around the town for something. Mostly, though, everybody else here seemed pretty much ready to spread out to themselves. Hadar would give back the baby as well as Polo Jr. to you guys. So you would
Thank you
have all
for
of
giving
those.
us the other half of our zoo.
There you go. He would also say that if you are planning on going to the desert to find your brother Polo, that he would most likely, like he said before, stay here until he is rescued or until things happen. So at the moment, not everybody here would be going to you. Eventually, eventually Link will be the only one making their way to you guys. That being said, you guys walk your way through the town. You guys find yourselves going into the your guys' place. As you pass the threshold, Marco, Polo, Ronan, and to an extent, Galen, Hadar, and Obera look very much like they are about to collapse. Gorthos, looking back at them, you can tell as you enter this place, they look like they just ran a mile. Like sprinted.
Perhaps more was taken out of you than we all thought.
I will say I'm looking forward to finding our way to the clam.
Definitely.
Well, there are no clams here for me, so anywhere here would be fine to lay about. Do you have anywhere I could be?
My old room should be open. I've still got my room on the farm.
Is that where you're headed?
Yeah.
He nods. Galen looks over towards you, Polo. What do you think? Our room here? Our room somewhere else? The room we just left? That was a pretty fun room. Can we say that's our room now?
We have so many abodes we could choose from. I mean, if we are going to have a number of guests, I do not mind offering our room for them, since we have quite the amount of options.
How about we head back to Zolair's place then?
Yes, that will work just fine.
Gorthos, you're fine meeting with my brother if he shows?
Of course. Leave everything to him. You all rest. I'm going to meet you all your peak for the trials coming ahead.
Are all you guys fine going to your separate abodes? Marco, you would leave to go back to the farm. As you leave to do so, I'm going to assume you bring Phil and Epona with you.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of time. You get them all readied outside of your place. You tie them up where the other horses would be, not on the map, like a little bit away from it. As you find yourself going out and around all the way to the back of your place because you live in a little shack behind your main house.
Yeah.
By the time you would walk all the way there and going through the threshold to your place, you don't remember stepping into bed. You just remember opening the door and honestly meeting the floor.
Hello, Floor. Nice to meet you.
Same thing with Ronan. As you and Obera make your way toward the sea domain, you pass the threshold going toward your room. Luckily for you, the room is right there.
Yeah, it's connected to the door.
You step into the room. You, for a moment, start doing your normal things you do when you enter your room. You go and tap on your little bright rocks you have in your aquarium. You lift up the clam. By the time you get the clam up, you hear Obera just going, "We really should put something inside of the And they look back as you remember opening the clam with great force to do so. And then you just feel a squishy feeling along your front, and you hear a very muffled, far away, "Ronan!" As you also meet the floor, but luckily for you, the floor is it's in between the floor and you is a bed.
At least it's lava.
Polo, you and Gallon would make your way out. As you do, you see the stairs leading up to the room that you guys have made at the top floor of Zolair's tower, at least the top floor that isn't somewhat in renovation. As you go up those stairs, you find that every step you take is a little bit harder, a little bit more laborious, until finally you get to the top of the stairs, but you do hear just a bit of a sound of surprise, not only from Gallon but also from Aster, as on the top step you sort of look up, seeing the ceiling, and you feel yourself falling back. Last thing you remember seeing is the ceiling. You hear both Aster and Gallon like call out, "Polo!" Porthos.
Me.
All of the others have made their way away from this place. They all looked as if a little bit more was wrong with them as time went on. But for you, you find that everything is relatively okay. That wasn't the one I wanted, but I love it. It's relatively okay, Gorthos.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that was just really, really funny with the music.
Yeah.
You make your way through. You keep an eye on some of the projects everyone has been doing in the day that they've had to complete some of them. A lot of the different fabrics seem to be going well. You watch as they're currently making some kind of a flag that you remember wanting to make for Kari. You find yourself going down deep into this place to go into the doorway that has the doorknobs. Upon getting there, Gorthos, you reach out toward the door, and as you reach out toward the door, you grab the doorknob going to that room, and you open it into an unfamiliar room. The area around seems darker than you remember. As you open the door, you find that looking around, you see the doorknobs along the walls, but it doesn't feel like this is the correct room. You stare forward until you do find a person standing in the room with you.
Who do I see standing there?
You see a person standing in a purple robe. As they're standing looking out and about throughout the place, even just as a silhouette, you can recognize this person. You see Aghanim standing in the room, facing away from you.
Purple robe.
You see Aghanim standing in the room, facing away from you.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. As you do,
Right.
you can tell, at least briefly, as you look back toward where the entranceway was, that the door has brought you somewhere else. You don't see the hall as you look back toward the entryway you just came from. But also, you don't believe that Aghanim has noticed you. I'm getting him over there. I'm moving. You find that he is looking upon some of the different doorknobs in this place. I see. Yes. wonder. He doesn't seem to have either noticed you or doesn't seem to have cared that you're there.
But I'm definitely in a different place than I was before.
Yes. Looking back at the doorway, you feel that there is no hall that you just came from there. You might be able to get there if you go to leave.
Why would he leave?
Again, the figure in front of you seems rather different than what you would normally expect them to be. You see their hood up. You see them with a slightly more transparent look to them. But it is without a doubt Aghanim.
Let's just walk forward. He just walks them forward and just... He doesn't appreciate thieves in his home.
Jesus, what? You see him jump as you say that, like, just goes to turn. I scared my dog. It's like, jeez, what? You.
What are you doing here?
You shouldn't run up on someone like that. Now, come on, change out of that. We're almost ready.
He thought this would be more fitting.
Well, I didn't break you out of that prison in Hyrule just for you to walk around and gawk at me all day. Now, come on, grab one of these. I can't grip them yet, fool. I still need your flesh and bone.
Gee. Is he man rushing towards one of the doorknobs?
As you make your way toward one of the doorknobs, you do note, looking at them, these definitely are the exact same doorknobs you remember seeing back at the house. Looking around at them, you do find that a few of them that should be missing are still here.
Doesn't matter which one it is.
Don't grab that cursed one. I'm not sure exactly what they've been doing with that. But, I don't know. Grab one that has your fancy.
He grabs one of the nearest ones too. That he knows are still there. So clearly this seems to be some kind of vision of the past, maybe, because there's stuff here that shouldn't be. He's picking one that is potentially. He's picking one he knows for a fact is still on the wall back at the house.
That one? Is that the one that calls to your magic?
Is it?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, that's a weird. Hold on. I didn't put it on repeat. Hold on. He just like brings out like a small radio, starts hitting it. There we go. All right.
Well, that's what it's...
As long as it is one that calls to your magic, you should be able to draw it. It doesn't have to be one at the end of the hall. It could be at the beginning. It could be anywhere. There's
Right.
no correct answer. Just use your heart.
There's still one of those at the least, so yes, this one.
That one, huh? Fine. Pull it out.
Paul.
You grip onto it. As you do note upon touching it a bit of a either static or some kind of a electric buildup seems to build up around your hand in the same way that you would go to actually cast your magic and your spells. As you pull it out, it is heavy, but not overly so. As you pull it from the wall, he looks it over. Yes. All right.
So, what is the plan again?
First, we're going to be bringing those fish over to the temple. At which point, you are going to be gathering more magic around there so that you can bring it to me. We still need to finish my face. Once we've done that, I will be able to be full again. With the charms that I've imbued inside of the muds that we'll be using, I swear that not a single person in this entire kingdom will be able to tell me no ever again. Not even you. But I suppose that I don't have to worry about that anymore, do I?
Suppose not.
Not going to miss these little chats we're having. Honestly, even if you are going to be going off with them for a while, maybe it'll do you some good. Try not to get yourself killed. They aren't the most forgiving of people we have under our thumbs.
It's not the first time those kinds of people have been dealt with. So
I wouldn't worry too much, though. Just because you are a shortcut doesn't mean that you are integral to these plans. Keep your own magic safe more than anything. You have a rare gift, and I would like to use more of it.
rare.
Mm-hmm. You look as if you are... Turn to me. Come on.
He'll turn.
He brings his hand over toward your face. Do you let him?
Something on his lunch, crumbs. What is it?
Oh, you're being funny. Can't have you be funny. Are you malfunctioning again?
Functioning.
You haven't looked at me with those eyes in quite a while.
Perhaps new eyes or them.
Do you hate me, mage? Is that hate that I see?
Agony. Who could ever love
Seems my wards are failing me. You will have to be brought through once more. Come, we cannot stay in this place. Surely those people who own this place now will know if we hold around too long. Once I get out of here, I'll reintroduce your wards. He sort of claps at your face a little upon your cheek. You feel flesh. For the first time in a long time, Gorthos. As he sort of smacks at your cheek a little.
As he turns, he reaches up to his face just to feel. It's like, what? Is there flesh?
You feel flesh along your face. You look at your hand and you notice that there is flesh on your hands as well. One last thing. Can't have them finding out. He waves his hand over where you just brought out the doorknob. Upon doing so, you are interesting, Douglas. I believe that in time, you, like the rest of your people, will grow to love me. Come on. Let's see if we have any more of that fabric for you. As he begins walking off, you do note that even with you standing perfectly still, you see a phantom of yourself walking out. As you notice, this other person behind him seems to be gripping their hands into two balled fists, one surrounding the doorknob they just pulled, and the other not. Large amounts of electricity gathering within them as the man in front of them laugh and cackle to themselves. As the two of them leave the doorway, the mage stops in the door and looks back toward you. You see the flesh and blood body of Douglas, the one you are apparently inhabiting, or at least that's what he's calling him. As he looks back towards you, in a small fit of rebellion, or maybe a small fit of something, he seems to strike downwards onto the brick below him. You see what appears to be some kind of writing etched in the bottom of it. He then leaves, following after his master. As he does this, as you start making your way forward, the room fades away into the room you know has always been here. You rush yourself over toward the brick where you've seen the vision write something below. You see what appears to be ancient Hylian upon the ground.
Well, thank goodness, a fine language I could read.
Fine a fucking Lee, dude. It seems very short, very poorly translated, as somebody who probably did not know ancient Hylian in their life, other than casting spells and whatnot. Looking about it, you can tell that there is a spell etched in the ground for whenever they would enter again to hopefully free their heart. You also note, however, there is a message. On that message, there is 3 words. I need to get to my thing so I make sure I don't say the wrong ones. Shatter, flaw, heart.
Shatter, flaw, heart.
You're not entirely sure what it means, and unfortunately for you, you don't have the same immediate understanding and connection with this body as you did your one before. But you can tell that whatever this was, other than the one other thing he did later on, which was saving Aster, might have been the only thing he ever did while he was under the control of those who were around him. The only 2 things that he might have done that he did on his own.
You're so sorry. You were enslaved by that thing. Shatter, flaw, heart. We'll figure this out.
Adding this onto the information you already have on this body, you know several things. 1, you know that he was apparently someone who had been trying to infiltrate these people, trying to spy on them. He was one of the elite guards of Hyrule. According to Aghanim, from what they just said, they completely thought that he broke him out of jail, thinking he was a prisoner instead. Unfortunately, nobody would have known at that point, whenever things did happen, that Aghanim, as well as all the other people that are under him, have a lot of items, including those fabrics, that basically make you believe that you are befriending them. It seemed different with this body, though. He seemed to be completely enamored with him. And only through use of his own unique magics was he able to give himself some semblances of understanding of his surroundings. Something about that lightning magic that was unique to this body seemed to be the only thing that was able to keep him somewhat in his own understanding. Shatter, flaw, and heart. He left that behind for potentially anybody who could have seen that vision. Maybe it's something that you need to keep in mind. Looking back,
Okay, so an elite guard trained by Sargus broke out of jail by Aghanim.
Mhm.
Interesting.
looking back toward the area where you know that knob got taken, you do find that there is a missing doorknob there, at least to your eye now. Now that you know that there was an illusion placed there, you completely see through it.
Can you, like, dissipate that? Can you just, like, dispel it?
Oh yeah, you can easily do that, especially with this body.
In fact, he's gonna go around and just kind of dispel whatever you'll see thinks like a little fucky in here. Except the cursed one, I'm not touching that one.
You feel like if you do go around and dispelling these things, the best thing that would come from it would be depowering the rest of the knobs.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it would affect that because I thought they'd be strong. But okay, illusion go away. Which means there's a missing doorknob connected to us somewhere.
If you remember as well, these knobs are things that create buildings or create like some kinds of dwellings that people use. And if you remember from things that Marco has said, at least things that would have happened after this scenario, because they mentioned going to the water temple, Marco had gone to a space that was very similar to something that was created by doorknobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't.
It was also very potentially near a fairy fountain.
Yep.
So we do know where that goes. Okay.
Looking around, there doesn't seem to be any other missing doorknobs. You go and make sure you touch each of them. They don't seem to be any other missing ones here. Whatever he did, he needed one of these for it, and then he apparently never came back. Maybe he needed certain magics to get here. Maybe he disguised himself as somebody else. Maybe he can just come in here as he wants, as he is potentially the one that created this place. Maybe he's always been able to come here whenever he wants.
Okay. So take one that does resonate and get ready for Kura, but a lot has happened. Also, that's never happened before, right?
You've never had a extremely vivid vision like this. You're not sure if it's because of the spell that was written on the bottom of this, or if it's just something that happened ever since you started learning more of the past of this body, because that was something you learned very recently. Who knows? But it turns out that now you are at least understand enough of this body that you qualify as him for the uses of that spell that he wrote for himself.
You
Also,
will not forget.
One thing that you have now learned from being in this body, this body knows how to use magic as writing.
Huh.
Basically, this body knows how to set traps through usage of runes.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
What that means
this
for
is gonna be
you,
fun.
what that means for you, because you would know what Ancient Hylian is, and you would know it far better than this body, is any spell or any magical thing you can think of that you or your friends have, you could potentially create a trap with.
You don't understand how badly you just fucked yourself. You just said any.
I'm
Let's
gonna
go.
I'm gonna fucking write down the entirety of the Song of Storms. It's gonna be great.
Rockworth goes to the general store. I need a book, a blank book. I need
a very large blank book, at least 700 pages long.
You are not gonna be
Ortho's-
gaining any stats or anything from this vision, like you usually would whenever you gain more memories and more understanding of your body. But you now know of a way you can use your abilities and use your spells in a much different way.
I can create room traps. I love it.
Gorthos.
These will take
So-
preparation to use, and you will find it very hard to do things like this in combat. However, because of this, you can potentially use uses of magic from yourself and your friends without using any Doritos as well, because all of the magic comes from the Ancient Hylian text.
Let's go.
Gorthos, we need to go into the Lost Woods and spend like a couple hundred years filling out a book with runes.
This is about to be like the Owl House or some shit. I'm gonna start drawing magic.
You just fucking like walk into the Lost Woods, you walk back out, your robe's all tattered, and you're like, been in there for 20 years.
I've been there for 20 years. What? Here. Just holds out like a library, holds out a library's worth of books.
If Ganon can take advantage of this, so can Gorthos.
In fact, Gorthos do it better than he ever did.
Unfortunately, all of your things of time you could have used to go and do that have been erased from your brain.
Damn it.
Ivori made sure of that.
Didn't she leave one?
She left
Yeah,
one, but that was
Well, that's supposed
that.
to be for something else.
Yes, that is for use in certain things or for an oh shit button. Let's get out of here.
Indeed. Oh man! All right, so sick. I can just make runes and stuff now. That's awesome.
You
So I
go
know
and you
what
collect.
Porthos-
You go and you collect one of the other doorknobs. You do find it's difficult to find one, and unfortunately, you begin to understand why. This body has already drew a doorknob.
Wait a minute. Every one of these bodies have one doorknob.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, he jumped.
I tried to
he
pick him up.
flew.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
zoom in.
I'm at the angle. Yeah, he just leaves, goes to get the donut body, comes back.
We can say that you go off and get the Donu body and you return to go and get a doorknob.
Just fucking walks in angry, rips one off the wall, walks back. Yeah.
It also gives you a little bit of hope having noticed that, though. That means that if Aghanim could have drew a knob, he probably would have.
But he couldn't have.
Why?
Which means he sucks.
Well, if you remember him
Genius.
saying in the beginning, he said he can't do it with this flesh yet
Yeah.
He's a bitch.
because he doesn't have new flesh yet. He still has his old body. He needs his new shiny mud body.
Oh, I
I'm
get
gonna-
it now.
I'm-
He already drew one.
Just thinking on this the flaw what's it again? Flaw
Break, flaw, heart.
break flaw hard.
Shatter,
I'm already
flaw,
shatter flaw hard. Shatter. I think I might already know what it is. And I can't wait to meet Aghanim so I can hit him with the fucking backbreaker. And throw him down a fucking well somewhere.
Fucking DDT his ass.
I'm gonna people's elbow the shit out of his soul.
United States has smashed this fucker.
You make your way in.
I will make a new expansion, so throw him in it.
You make your way in. You grab the new one with your Donu body. I'm just gonna drag the Donu body over here because I love.
Yeah, thanks.
I love
Wait.
having them put in here.
Doesn't that mean that he'll have to take care of the cursey bit. Because like there's already doorknob taken, and you can't really take a doorknob when there's already been taken.
I mean, we've already used all the ones we've taken, right?
Not the one Kuro took.
Kuro didn't take a knob. Kuro has a thing from
Chefos?
Oh, right, that.
because he's gonna use it to
Okay.
get you guys. Then he needs you guys to use the doorknob.
Right.
I forgot. That's how that was working.
You go off and you do
Teamwork.
that. You do find that whenever you return in the Donu body, you go to where you left the mage body. Just like before with some of the bodies just like doing things, now that you've seen a lot more of this thing's personality, you find that this thing is just like walking around on its own and is kicking random things on the ground.
Oh, it's angry. Oh, he's angry still.
Angie body. Angie.
I mean, at least he's not. At
Angle.
least he isn't going and drinking all your guys' wine.
Yeah, I should
Yeah,
really
watch
talk to
about that.
Atlanta about that. That should really be a discussion Gorthos had. But well, we can. It's all sidebar.
Wait, what was the Donu body doing?
He doesn't. He's not amazingly close with the Donu body yet. He has
Yeah, who knows?
some things with the Donu body, but he doesn't have a lot
He
of
could-
things with it yet.
Yeah, it's been a whole thing. His approach is it's just there are more constructive ways to vent.
You see this body look back up to you. You see the glowing red eye that is basically unique to this body staring at you.
You know he's right.
Kick. Just walking around
Look,
kicking a
got
pebble.
road Tantrum.
As this happens, you note someone coming in from a room behind you. Do-do-do-do. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Do-do-do-do. Grabbing them and moving. Don't you worry. It will be over there in a second.
I'm gonna get there soon, I promise.
We have to move them from all the way over in the other side of the room.
I like how Emerald's just throwing Aghanim around.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause fuck 'em.
You see,
Yeah.
stepping in from the area off to the side, what appears to
Lord.
be Sierra and Skull Kid. As they step through, they begin looking about. Gorthos, right? Or
Yes.
look to the one behind. Or Gorthos?
Both.
Right. She looks back towards Skull Kid. Skull Kid is going back and forth.
Hello,
From the
Skull
two-
Kid.
Hello!
Having fun.
Hello! Hello! Hello!
Just slowly turns to Sierra. So how could he help you tonight?
Well, we're here. We did everything that we could do. You notice that there is a redness to her face as she is sort of stomping on her way in through here. She's very much trying to be nonchalant about things. She's like, well, we did it, so we're here to do the thing now.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. How are you? Everything going well here?
Yes, things are going perfectly smoothly. What happened?
Well, she points back toward the thing. Do you have a door for this?
That is the door.
No, like, do you have a door for getting through? Are we ready to do the thing? Because that thing's gonna disappear in an hour.
The door. Yes, we can create a new pathway. It's ready.
Do you have anyone? What about your other girl thing body? Do you have that one?
It has been lost in our most recent excursion.
Lost. Sorry, I'm being, not being, I'm being rude. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that you lost something that precious.
It was worthwhile.
I really can't handle it back there. They made sure to. Can you just give me the thing, or can Polo come with me or something?
What is going on over there?
They're giving us a hard time. They wouldn't even let Koro in.
The Gerudo would not let Koro in?
The Gerudo, yes, but the main body of the Gerudo are off away from the original Gerudo town. That's where we're at right now. But there are some left behind that wouldn't let Koro through. I could go through, and I don't even know how Skull Kid got in, but is he a girl? Is she a girl?
When Skull Kid comes back through the portal again, Gortha's gonna just try and stop him, like, oh, hold on.
He's like stepped out, like half of his foot is through the portal, half isn't.
Skull Kid, come here.
Inches closer.
Please.
Inches closer.
He'll give you
I do not
snacks.
have time for this. Get over here. Of course I'm coming.
Why did that work? Never mind. How did you get into Gerudo Town?
I walked.
No one stopped you?
Nobody saw me.
How?
I'm very sneaky.
What magic did you
Silent
use?
as a mouse. A screaming mouse.
How did you get in?
He shrugs. They didn't see me.
Well, if it's to make a new portal. If the thing with the doorknobs is a specific person has to hold it, right?
Basically, you can hand that off to anybody. But only one person can pull a doorknob.
Right.
And only one doorknob can be pulled at a time.
He just pulls out the doorknob he was going to hand off. Just, well, if that's the case.
Do we have any preferences for where? I'm guessing one of the entrances, or maybe like a shack outside the city, so that people don't get all pissy.
Yeah. That's so strict. Anywhere convenient and a place we can retreat to if necessary.
Okay, I'll try my best. I'll see if I can meet back up with Kuro.
Kuro was supposed to come back. He really is being held up by them, isn't he?
He didn't want to go against what they said. I don't. He said something about how he'd already been in the city this year or something. I don't understand it, to be honest. Whenever I tried pulling him in, they got mad at me. Whenever I tried to let them know, hey, this is stupid and we shouldn't have to worry about this, they got mad at me. They were telling me all about how everybody's been breaking rules recently. I barely got a way to do this now. We've been there for hours. We could have came earlier.
Really?
But for some reason, there's just so many different things going on. I'm just gonna go find him, and if I can find something to put it in before then, I'll do it. Hell, I could just use the carriage for all I... Can I just use the carriage?
Would it work? Now may not be the best time to experiment, considering. There's been some developments, and time is of the essence, Sierra.
I'll see what I can do then. I'm gonna try to find something. They really would not be fine with us putting it in the city if you guys are coming out of it, though. We would probably have to fight our way out of it.
An option that he does not find terribly distasteful.
Yeah, neither do I at the moment, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, that's because you're extremely heated.
To be fair, I probably would be bent over backwards by any one of them, so it doesn't matter.
Probably.
I would try, though.
Of course, many have. But
We're not going to be able to get much of anywhere if we can't have men go through it, though. So I'll try to find something outside, and if I can't, I'll see if I can use it with the carriage. I'll come back as soon as I can.
be safe, all of you.
You stay here. Points to Skull Kid and starts walking away. Or better yet, go home. She stomps her way through the portal. What's her problem?
I was going to ask you the same question. What did you do?
I have not done a single thing to anybody.
What have you done in the proximity of others?
Mostly I've been dancing and singing, asking a bunch of questions, looking at all the different sites. Did you know sand is like not like a forest?
Yes.
It's crazy. Did you know that cactuses are not like a forest?
Yes.
It's crazy. You know that seals are not like a forest?
Yes.
It's crazy. Did you know that clouds are not like a forest?
You have to have seen clouds. Come. Do not kick the child. Hand on shoulder, pushing back.
No, I think he's onto something.
Not yet, Douglas.
I knew exactly what you were gonna do. The moment you drug him over here.
A bit of time passes. You watch as the hour goes by, and unfortunately the portal that would have taken you to the desert disappears. However, they now have a doorknob, so they can make a permanent one. You watch and you wait and you feel as everything is going about. The entire time, Skull Kid is looking around at things and telling you how it's crazy, it's not a forest. You realize he must have done that the entire week they were gone.
Gorthos has a lot of patience in him, I guess. Well, Tony probably has a lot of patience in him. Douglas wants to punt this thing into the ceiling, doesn't he?
Douglas has already at this point made their way away, and you just hear a bunch of noises coming from your workshop.
Oh, no. Here. Don't break the forge, they just built it.
A bit of time passes. Around
yes, the support beams are not like a forge.
Around 3 hours pass until finally you feel that there is another connection being given to this place.
There.
And finally, stepping out, you see Savannah, not Savannah, you see Savannah, you see Sierra rushing out and throwing herself going forward as she goes, hey, it's Savannah, just knocks him out of the way. Gorthos, we have a problem.
Oh, and he was so happy for a moment. What happened?
I can't find Koro.
What do you mean you can't find Koro?
He wasn't there whenever I went to leave. It took me this long to look for him, and I couldn't find him. So I just used the doorknob to come back to you.
Did the guards talk to you? Do they know?
They had no... Every time I try to ask them anything, they don't say anything or do anything. I asked them about Koro, and they said that they never seen him.
Oh, no. He just looks at the port. He looks at the new doorway, just... He has an inclination as to what happened.
What do we do?
The others are resting from all of our excursions. Our trip to the Divine Realm took a lot out of them.
Divine Realm?
We walked in the realm of the gods for a while. He'll explain later, but right now, they're all out of commission.
The more I keep thinking of it, the more I feel like they just... they just delayed me while I was inside. Like I said, we were at that place for hours.
He just puts like his big hands on her shoulders, just like, Sierra, it's going to be okay. You did very well, and surely Kuro of all people will have no ill will against you for what happened here. You had no power over this. We feared that there was a fear this may have been more dangerous than Kuro may have let on. But it's fine. We'll find him. We'll find him and free him wherever he is. Put things right.
You were right about the carriage, by the way. I couldn't use it. It needed to have a door or something. I went to a small settlement that was just outside of it, and I asked them if I could use one of their tents, and they said that I could.
Interesting. What happens if that gets disassembled? But first, how far outside of Gerudo town is it?
About an hour. I don't know anything about that other place you guys were talking about, but the place we were at, the place that him and Gallon grew up, is about an hour away.
This is bad, but could be worse. We know they could not have gone far. He most certainly would. He knows one place that they most certainly wouldn't be taking him.
So, if everybody's resting, what do we do now? You should probably go to sleep. You're really cranky.
Hey, Skullkid, why don't you check on the other skeleton down there for a minute?
Okay.
Hey, yeah, oh, there he goes.
Hey, this place is a lot different than I thought. You hear a break. You hear the sound of something going into a crate.
Ow! Porthos will handle that in a minute. Now listen. His first instinct is to try and investigate what we can right now. While they're resting, there's not much else we can do but poke our noses in places. He won't get far with Donu, Douglas, or Elnath. I think.
There's a couple of other things that we probably should go over that Kuro was talking about when we were coming into the desert, but I don't remember everything. That points off towards Skull Kid. That thing was driving me crazy, but I'll remember it all. I'll let you. Give me a little bit to put my thoughts together. I'll let everybody know everything he said.
Get the time you need. Remember, the worst thing to do now is to panic. Trust him. He was doing that earlier. It'll be all right.
Can I go upstairs and collect myself then?
Our home is your home, Sierra.
I should have kept better watch over him. I'm sorry, Gorthos.
Don't apologize. Just... You did well. Again, we could not have predicted this outcome. None of us really could.
You can tell me I did well when we get Kuro back, okay? He starts walking away.
He sees her walking away. He thinks about going down to help Skull Kid, but then he looks over towards the gate still, just... There's a 0%. There's like an almost null chance, but he's gonna go get Skull Kid out of the box. There's no way this little shit knows anything helpful, but...
You make your way in there. You do find that that other Gorthos has made their way away from where Skull Kid is currently in. He is in the he has apparently just been shoved into a box over in the corner, the top of which is somewhat broken.
Wow,
there's a lot of metal in here.
Opens box, pulls Skull Kid out.
Hi.
Hi. No, the metal is not like a forest. You're right. Now listen.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
You should have. Now listen. Kuro was talking about some very important things.
Oh
going
yeah,
on
he
with
was
them
always
this
yap
year.
yap 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 yap.
Just like grabs face, just grabs mouth, just you know the thing was like grab like pinch his mouth, just what did he say?
I'm gonna roll for Skull
Let's
Kid.
go. Let's go, man.
Gonna roll for Skull Kid real quick. Just gonna give him you know what? I'll give him two. I'll give him 2 rolls. Here we go.
Let's find out.
That's an 18. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Something about how it was really, really hot. A lot hotter than he remembered it being. Something about how some of the desert seemed like it was a lot shinier for some reason. Something about something he called a sandstorm. I don't know.
A sandstorm.
Oh no, he used a different word for it. What was it? What it made it did a number on our carriage. I don't know.
A storm that damaged the carriage severely.
Because of all those shiny things in the desert.
Shiny thing.
Uh-huh.
Did you pick any up?
Oh yeah, I have some right here.
Show Gorthos.
He reaches under his tunic and he pulls out what appears to be a clear piece of some kind of mineral or something. He holds it up to you. It takes you a moment to realize it's glass.
It's glass. This is glass. The desert's just filled with this.
Huh? Oh yeah, there were like big old patches of it. And then that sandstorm came in and whoa, picked up all those patches and everything was loud and Koro told us all to get in the carriage and we did, but I wanted to see so bad, so I got up to look and then Koro dragged me down and then he started bleeding. It was crazy.
What?
You don't see that kind of stuff in the forest.
You don't. Was there anything else going?
He said it felt a lot better once we got over to the town. It seemed to be only around the edges of things, he said. Or like, no, not the edges of things. It seemed to be at places that they weren't there. There weren't people there. No, there were people there, but there weren't things there. There weren't systems? There weren't systems there? No, that's not it.
Cisterns?
Sisters, yes. Places where his sisters weren't at.
So uncivilized, Patch. Places that people do. He puts them on the ground.
What?
Just gently, of course.
I'm like, no.
He freaks out even more.
You said it gently. He's not used to it. He starts screaming and crying. No.
Good. Thank you, Skull Kid. You've been insightful.
Oh, there was one more thing. He said something was floating. I know what floating is, so I remember that one.
Something was floating.
Yeah, there was something floating above it. It was floating and it landed. It landed really far away, and Kuro's like, we shouldn't go there.
Something large was floating through the air and landed away from.
He says that it probably was the thing that made the stuff, the shiny stuff.
A creature made glass up in the desert?
He called it something. It was he said it was a ledger?
A ledger?
A ledger?
A
That's
legend?
not it. A legend, yes. He said some kind of a legend. A Jared legend.
Jared legend.
Yeah, a Jared legend. A Jared-O legend.
A Gerudo legend.
A Gerudo legend.
What was the legend called?
I don't remember.
You never called what the creature looked like. Did you see it?
Some kind of woman?
A woman?
I think.
A woman creates glass in the desert.
You have to ask Koro about it. I'm sure he'll tell you.
Did you happen to see where Koro went?
He was waiting outside the place because they're like, you can't come in here. You're a man.
Did you notice if he left?
I came in with Sierra.
You saw the inside of Gerudo Town. How many people?
Not a lot, no.
Any men?
No, man. No, none of those, no.
Only women?
I think so, yeah.
I
will let you know.
Yeah.
You know that there is the original Gerudo Town, and now the settlement that's over by it's over by the place. They were going to the original Gerudo Town.
No, I know. I was just checking to see if there was anyone left.
No men. Nuh-uh. I said no man allowed. And Sierra was really mad about it, so she's probably a man.
Yeah. That is her virtue to sign on, but that's neither here nor there.
She's really cranky.
Some people are just going through some things, so you can't blame them.
Well, I can. Something I can do.
You should.
I can do a lot of things.
Yes, people
Let's
can do
find
many
out.
things. People can do many things, okay, it's true, but there's some things you can and should do and things you should not do. But that's not the conversation we're having today.
That's the conversation we have tomorrow.
Maybe.
We have to hold on. Sierra also once said something about you'll get it tomorrow.
You know, perhaps she might be hyperbolic, but she might not. Whether or not she makes good on that is for tomorrow to decide, Skull Kid. So, what else could he call you? Right, you're a trick through the desert. This woman. Do I know any? Does Gorthos have any idea of old legends of this shit, or?
Well, you do know that the Gerudo people love honoring like notable people in their society. When it comes to the men, obviously they have to do something to be remembered. But when it comes to the women, women warriors and different things of that nature, they usually have a lot of understanding of their previous like legends and other like people who are strong. In current Gerudo, you don't really believe that there's anybody that is strong enough. You don't know. Maybe the quote unquote queen or empress or however you want to call her potentially could be someone of the strength to become some kind of a legend, but you would believe that both Galen and Kuro would tell you if there was some kind of a living legend currently. The strongest Gerudo that you believe you have any knowledge of currently are the Iron Knuckles, Galen, Kuro, and the chief.
You've been
I guess
invaluable.
Grandma as well.
angry. Yeah, of course, the witches, but I don't think they associate with Gerudo in particular. Because they're on their own side. You have been invaluable, Skunker, as always.
He like looks around.
No, this place is not like a forest.
I was looking for other me's. You me? Me? Me valuable?
Yes, you've been quite helpful in our endeavors.
Oh. How valuable would you say I am?
Warlords does not have any interest in buying or selling.
Oh. So one can do those things.
One should not do those things.
Oh, I can do a lot of things.
He's trying to pay you a compliment,
Oh,
Skulker.
thank you. Puts a hand out for the compliment.
He shakes his head. Thank you for all of your invaluable help. See, it's like that.
Well, I've done what I've been here to do. Waddles
Have
up
you?
and away toward the main entrance.
Okay.
Think of it like this,
it-
Gorthos. In a couple more hours, the sun will rise, so that's good.
Yeah. He just goes up and over towards the this body.
You see the body currently is has a small chunk of metal and is currently throwing it across the room, then walking over to it, picking it up, returning, throwing it across the room, walking over to it, picking it up, returning, throwing it across the room.
Just fucking grabs it. Just there's tools to do that, but that's not here or here. Listen, we very soon will be leaving for the Gerudo.
He puts his hands up like, finally.
Yes, finally. There may be some connection to Aghanim there. So stop breaking everything in the house and focus.
He looks down at the small chunk of iron that he has. He walks around, places it back down onto the thing here, picks up a small chunk of goddess metal, walks back over here, looks at you dead in the eye, and tosses it across the room. Walks over to it, picks it up, goes back.
It's like a cat. You're like a person-sized cat. An elite knight.
He doesn't know much about that. He just has a small bit of what he is and what he was.
Yep. Yeah, it's just. Give him a little bit, he'll make you a training dummy. Gorthos will go to make a target for him.
You're like, fucking. You start like for the next couple of hours. You just like walk out. You walk toward fucking lawn. You grab some of the hay and shit they have there, grumbling the entire time. You come back. You walk back. Go to the forest. Pick up some tree limbs. Grumbling. Come back.
Yeah. No, he's bringing the boys with him too. He's bringing Nugget, Alloy, and Ingot.
Oh yes, of course.
He's like, time to get to work.
We'll say for the remainder of the night.
Vacation's over.
We'll say for the remainder of the night, you go about making some kind of a target dummy for your small friend. As you do so, the others, you feel as you sleep or rest or fall down the stairs. Who knows exactly what happened to the three of you? You say what you feel while all that happens. Your dreams are very brief, but they do happen. You see in front of you 3 figures, all clad in gold. As these 3 golden figures approach you guys, the middle one reaches out and touches the backs of your hands. You find the golden light that shone from the back of each of your hands. There's a small dot of red in the center. As the golden power lights up around, you see the almost primordial looking creatures in front of you. Just 3 women completely grafted out of gold. Nearly featureless, but just enough that you can see a face, jawlines, figures, mouths, but almost formless. The middle one that touched you calls out to you. As they call out, at first you hear nothing. They stop, they look to you, they call out again. This time you hear a language, but not one you understand. She looks back toward the other 2 who look to you. You hear 2 other languages that you do not understand. Until finally, she looks to you. As she speaks, you who have coveted power, use this gift. If your desires show merit, you will collect the other 2 pieces, and any wish is yours. To you, was from the abandoned land, we will give any which can be seen there. That land interests us not. If you truly wish power, the whole place is yours to take. If you wish something else, it is your right. We will be at your call, those of the mark of power. It is at this point that Marco, Polo, and Ronan, you guys look about and you see the others. You see the other 2 standing beside of you, Marco, Polo, and Ronan. But you also see grayed out figures behind you. Featureless, many. Some of them seemingly showing the same silhouette over and over, as if more have been copy and pasted, who knows? But one of them in particular shows itself to be interesting, as you would see a silhouette of Gallon behind you. It is because you see that you recognize all of the ones behind you must be previous wielders of the Triforce of Power, or perhaps any Triforce. three of you look back toward the three featureless women in front of you. You feel as if you can speak, if you wish.
So is it actually you three this time, or is it still you, just your little, like, errand boys?
They stare towards you for a moment, Ronan. As you speak this out, they contemplate among themselves before finally... It took me a while to understand what you said. It is us. I am Din. You are from the abandoned project.
Where?
Abandoned project?
We create many worlds. That is what we do. We create. And then once those worlds can flourish, we leave. I seem to end that there.
This is not something the program used to be told you're a fucking abandoned project.
We'll go back to Shrine if you want.
Why do you call ours the abandoned project? Makes it sound like you haven't, like you chose this one to not finish or something.
Yours is unique. In yours, we still have many who call upon us. It happens occasionally in other worlds. But yours, they motion behind you toward all the grayed out silhouettes, have many who call upon us. Some not even put here. Some who find ways to call us without the golden power. Yours has a realm separate, one where you call gods fall. Yours has another existence entirely, on the opposite or negative. Yours has many pockets where places come into being. Your world we abandoned in such a state as a project to see what would happen. You have emotion toward us. They say something again aloud as if they say something in a different language, but then they stop themselves. Ronan.
Yeah, that's me.
That was at the end of their sentence. Or they're like, you have emotion toward us, Ronan.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you appointed those people who, like, give out your decrees or whatever, but, like, I think you need to rehire because they're doing some real, like, gross, nasty stuff in your name. So,
We
might
have
want to
no
look into that.
contact with your world, aside from those who hold the golden power. And those who somehow circumvent it. We do not hire... Basically, like, we have no idea who the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, well then I'll have to look into that on my own then. Well then I guess I don't have any feelings towards you guys specifically.
Where is your emotion from, Ronan? Why are you... They pause. Angry. As if trying to understand what the fuck you are.
Because they're using your powers and your name to make people feel attracted to other people that they aren't attracted to, and it's really gross and not okay.
Attracted to?
It's okay. So I guess there's a lot of ground to cover here, but ultimately,
What he means is, when we first touched the Triforce of Power, some of us were connected with people that we shouldn't have been connected to. What caused that?
Ah. Yes. That would be those we mentioned before who circumvent our power. They attempt to manipulate the golden power without possession of it. That is not anything we have knowledge on beyond that. You would consider them dumb liars.
yeah, I do, actually.
They have power, but I believe whatever power they had is no longer connected to the Triforce because of your actions. Perhaps they attempted something. I could try to find them if you wish. What you do to them is not my concern. We do not share our power usually, but to those who have the full Triforce. But if you believe we should be angry at these dumb liars, I can find them for you.
So they can't do what they've been doing anymore?
Not since your connection was broken, due to the actions that you had performed. Whenever you separated everything from Aga and Pika and made them.
But they could still do it to other people, though, right?
Potentially, yes.
In theory.
Which is why they're saying like we can find them for you.
I mean, sure.
They motion behind you. As they do, you see what appears to be one of the silhouettes going forward. As it does, you're going to be so shocked. You're going to be shocked and alarmed. You're going to be like, whoa, really? The person...
You're going to be so shocked,
oh
alarmed,
my god.
concerned?
The one who talks about love magics and connecting everybody and causing friends and emotions with people. Oh my god!
He did it? He decided to be a fucking asshole? It was him who fucked around and found out?
If you remember, he was using this, but he had found one of the others and destroyed them. You could assume that he was using this to find the people connected with the Triforce and destroy them. Which means he was wanting to do the same thing he did to Link / to Ravio to Aga and Pika as well.
Oh, this guy. Okay, well, good. We were already going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, I don't believe he has a face.
Well, I mean, he kind of does. Like if you think of that part as a face, we were gonna deal with him anyway. Is my point.
You will do whatever it is you wish. The only reason I bring this to you now is because you seemed dissatisfied. We have never met someone dissatisfied with our presence before.
I guess there is a first for everything, is there not?
Usually at this point, people are on their knees and begging for riches and power. That's what 90% of the people behind you did. Not that one. We never met that one. Points to Gallon.
Alright, here I was about to make a joke.
Yeah.
Are you still dissatisfied?
No, actually. I am very satisfied, I think, at this point.
While we do not have too many thoughts or, in particular, love for your world, we do try to keep in touch through our power. We ask each time one gathers a Triforce that they tell us of something of the world as it is and as it stands now. For you to have told us that there is one pretending to know us. Dumb, stinky liar.
You're doing great. These are all accurate things you're saying.
The others here, are you dissatisfied as well? The world that we left, is it not to your liking?
I'm not dissatisfied with anything.
Good.
So I do have to ask, why did you make it so that these, like, money grows out of the ground? I don't understand that part. That's really weird.
Money grows out of the ground?
Okay, never mind.
They're about to be like, what is money?
Wait, isn't this that commerce thing?
I guess technically you just made rocks and we assigned a value to it, so, you know, that's more on us, I guess.
I love how you have the progenitors of existence. You ask them why money grows on grass.
They're like, man, what's money?
God, why does capitalism exist?
You have yet to say something. They say something aloud that is a different name, and then they say, Polo.
I cannot say it as much to my disliking, but I can also say that I am not satisfied with it.
I see.
I guess if I was to put it bluntly in a way a certain someone would say, honestly, I'm not impressed.
We gave water, greenery, life, money from grass.
That
like,
I don't think is a benefit. I don't
like,
think
we
that's
know
a
this
feature
now.
you
We
want
know
to
what.
tout.
They're like, we know what that is now. We can say that. What is more we should have given?
That is something that I am quite not sure.
Understandable. We know everything and we are not sure. What we do is we create these worlds slightly different every time. And those worlds create everything else themselves. Through minor changes, they grow, glow brightly, or are destroyed. The small bits of golden power we leave in each of them is given to those who wish to know us, or wish to take those worlds for their own. Out of all of the ones behind you who have ever held a piece of the Triforce, very few have gathered all three. and very few of them have ever wished to own the world. Very odd. This is the only one. The only one like that. You all wish for many things. But most of you die before attaining all three. If you wish to attain all three, it will take you a while. But I believe that you are close to obtaining two, and the third is on the move.
We knew that, right?
Yep, you guys knew that the one that was off in the mountains was kind of different.
Gotcha. Okay.
I will look forward to seeing who attains all three. If that is all, you're allowed to wake up.
All right, then.
We will remember these new words you have taught us. We will bring them to the other worlds.
Yeah, you can just forget about the money and grass thing. You don't need to add that to every world you do from now on. It's whatever, you know.
Oh, just the words, not the things.
Okay, gotcha.
We don't change things after they're made.
Also, help me settle a bet. Does low rule exist?
You mean the world that is opposite and negative of yours?
Oh my gosh, Dorthos is gonna be so happy.
They had mentioned that there was a world opposite and negative of yours.
Education!
Oh my god.
It wasn't a dream!
They also said that there were pockets of other places that appear in your world.
That's real!
Congratulations.
Corthos isn't having dementia, he's right! Yeah!
Termina is so real. In fact, one person from Termina left off into the stars and never came back wherever he went. Bye, Hendrix. Anyway, so
Bye, loser.
bye, loser. Yes. As if you guys don't have anything else to say, they will begin to walk away. The further they get away from you, the less of a glow that the three of them give off. The other two did not say anything to either of you. As they walk away, you guys find the shining happening on each of your wrists. Not wrists, each of the back of your hands. And when you wake up, having now attained the full power of the Triforce of Courage, or not Triforce, the Triforce of Power, I'm gonna give you guys this.
What?
Ding.
What the fuck is that?
I'm gonna give you guys
What's
a
all
mark
this
of
shit?
power.
Holy shit.
Oh boy.
What the mark of power does is you can use it for any of the 5 things you see listed on here. You can use it to turn a miss into a hit, gain back all uses of a card, and gain 1 exhaustion. Roll the d12, gain back that many charges on a magic item, and 1 exhaustion. Escape a binding or some effect hindering your movement, or gain 2 goddess tokens or 4 hero dice.
Oh, fuck.
Now that you've obtained marks of power, you gain 3 at the start of any given day, and 1 more whenever you nat 20 or nat 1 a roll, and they do not expire.
Holy shit.
Yay!
Does this mean that there's marks for the other two?
Who knows, man? Copy.
Yes, man.
Do-do-do-do.
And gain power up, y'all. God damn.
Fuck yeah.
I will put 9 of them in the center of the board.
Hey.
Any one of you can use this for any of your abilities or any of your allies' abilities, which does mean that Gorthos can use this despite not having the Triforce of Power.
Guess what, motherfucker? I got it by proxy. Also, I was right.
You guys will gain 9 of these at the beginning of each day, and every time again you get a nat 1 or a nat 20, you will get another one.
Nice.
The 3 of you wake up. As you guys do, Polo and Ronan, you guys were moved into your sleeping areas, both of you. Ronan, you feel like maybe your knees hurt a little bit because you probably fell right at it and you're like, blah. But Polo, you're completely fine. Marco, you feel like your face hurts. As
You've been sleeping on the floor all night.
As you wake up to a bunch of cuckoos just climbing on you. As you had collapsed in your doorway.
I can't imagine I am not on the floor, so they wouldn't have checked on me.
The cuckoos really wanted to know if you were okay.
I'm glad the cuckoos care.
You were back in your place. That's your private area. Nobody would go back there and mess with you. As each of you would wake. Polo.
Mm-hmm.
You find waking up, looking off and about, there is a Gallon sleeping next to you in a bed, as he would basically be not covered up. He would have covered you up completely. You find that he has apparently some water and other things nearby. You find that the tome of time that he has been at his side, meaning he probably threw heals at you at some point to try to get you to wake up. You just didn't, so the 2 of you slept there. As you are waking up, you do hear. Let me get him. You know what I'm doing. Hold on a minute. Let me get him. Let me get over there. Is that Dawn? Oh, you're awake.
Huh? Oh,
Good morning.
good morning.
I was not able to do much but reassure your friends that you were okay.
I appreciate that.
It took a little while for me to say much of anything through you, for I feel that there were other godly influences at work. Are you all right?
I am quite all right. It seems that we had encountered the golden goddesses.
Yes. It was something that has been a long time coming, I believe. Usually those who obtain the Triforce are almost immediately greeted by them, set upon their goal and such. But for all of you, I had simply assumed it was because you had shared the Triforce that you did not.
Yes, I think.
Luckily for you, you have already spoken with gods before. Most people immediately forget when they have seen the visages of the golden goddesses.
Oh.
But for you, since you had already spoken with me, or perhaps it was the mortal goddess's influence, or the fact that you just have made your way out of the sacred realm, one of any of those things might have allowed you to remember those things.
Very likely so. I feel a little bit, guilty.
Guilty.
Did not have much to say to them. But not towards awe or disappointment or anything. I just felt largely indifferent.
They are similar with you. They are, unfortunately, separate. They have separated themselves a lot from these worlds, and when it comes to any sort of understanding of their own places, they do not have anything. Even if you would have told your gripes to them, I'm sure that in the end they would have told you to collect the full Triforce and change things yourself.
That is easier said than done, but it's not like they would really care.
They are interested, but they do not usually interfere, from what I understand. Unless things have changed since I left the Sacred Realm.
Not sure.
I also feel a bit guilty.
And why is that?
Whenever I was trying to calm down your two friends, I was trying to speak to them as much as I could, but I kept getting flustered by how much they were doting on you, and then they ended up wrapping me up in this blanket, and I was unable to move.
You were wrapped up in the doting?
You then try to move your arms, and you realize you are completely burritoed inside.
You let them do this to me.
I don't know if let is a correct thing to say. I kept telling them that you were fine. I believe that the more I protested, the more eager he got.
Was he smiling the whole time and holding laughter?
I believe that I was too flustered to really understand.
I think he enjoyed doing this.
The only laughter I kept hearing was one from the fairy, but I assume that fairy folk just do that.
Not quite wrong, but not quite right either. But I'm also not well educated in the matter of fairies.
I also know that I recently gained back some of my power, so I did not wish to try to fight back against anything, just in case I did not understand the full extent of it.
Well, I'm thankful for you holding back.
I could release you now if you wish.
Would it cause too much of a disturbance?
I might would rip the blankets.
Oh, we could get another one.
You find that as you say that, there is a warm glow that comes about you, and as soon as it does happen, you seem to slightly levitate off of the bed for a moment, at which point you pull your arms out, and it almost like a pair of like surgical scissors. You just sort of move out as if there's no resistance. Your arms spread out, and you let the fabric fall onto fall back down onto the bed. The entire time, not making a single like change in how the bed was. There wasn't a single movement there other than the actual blankets. Gallon is still asleep.
Fascinating.
There we are. I can
Now how do I get down?
Do stuff. Oh, down, right. You sort of just find yourself floating back down onto the bed.
Thank you.
It still takes a bit out of me. But it's better than before. It doesn't hurt any longer.
Now what do we do?
I believe that until your journey is at an end, I will stay with you. It is the only way that I can really get much closure with that who took my power from me as well. If that's fine with you.
I do not mind at all. It is the promise I made to you after all.
Your promise was to make sure that I was able to, well, be myself, able to recover, and I have done that. So if there was a time that you wish to discard me, now could be it, if you wish to have your privacy back.
No, I quite do not mind.
Okay. Then I will stay here, and I will share in any moments that you have.
Now let's get out of bed and hopefully not wake them up.
Should I bring you out of bed?
I think I should be able to do that on my own.
Okay. You find that you are able to get out of bed. Even though you are making some movements on the bed, you do find that Gallon in particular is still very sleepy. Probably because he also went into the Sacred Realm, but definitely not for the same reason you were.
Yeah, she's gonna slowly just put the blanket over him.
What's left of it?
What's left of it?
It's
the
like in
thought
it's
they
like in
have.
like it's like in like 5 different pieces now because it was like wrapped around you as tightly as it was. This is his fault, really.
You know, 5 separate smaller blankets.
You also find that Aster is laying on the bed but has not woken up because it's Aster.
Of course not. There's just that thing of just like, it'll be really funny in her head. It's just like, oh, you wake up, you take Aster, but not me. Yes, I do, in fact, take Aster and not you.
Well, you do notice
Just
that
grab.
you do notice that beside of Aster is a small little dragon as well, and it has woken up.
Oh,
You find the little guy has essentially from watching you rise up out of bed is like sort of just flopped itself up onto its legs and is watching you. You also notice on the foot of said bed there is another small little thing that has noticed you and is awake. Mostly because he doesn't really sleep because he's undead.
oh. I see you're up and about as well, Orion. And I see little Hermes is also up and about. Did I wake you, little one?
It is currently looking off and about itself. You notice it's been being more cognizant of its surroundings as of the past like day or so. It is no longer just like understanding food. However, looking at it, it does seem to be looking for food.
We should probably stop by the house and get you some nourishment.
Orion is looking at it and just glaring.
We can get you something too, Orion.
Gonna eat it.
But Hermes is also a growing baby. I'm not sure how Vega will be able to ride you into battle if you still stay this size. If you even grow that big.
What is that's all? Is this always this tiny?
It's like using Pidgey to fly.
he's just standing on it like his hands in the air, like.
It's like a toy dragon type, like a toy poodle.
I love that image. I don't know if any of you guys know the image I'm talking about, where it's just Gary Oak standing on the back of a Pidgey.
I know exactly which one.
I remember that
He's
image.
on the Pidgey and he's fucking T-posing, I know.
Yeah.
It's great. God. Fucking don't torment creatures like this.
Well, let us get you some food.
The 3 of you start to make your way back toward the main house. We'll get to you guys in just a moment. As, again, Marco, you would awake. Some cuckoos on your head and on your back, pecking about around you. One of them staring you dead in the eye as you lift your head up.
Very carefully, he will get up, not disturbing these cuckoos. Or you have to be careful with the cuckoos.
That's fine. People throw them all the
And he
time.
will-
As long as you don't hit
Throwing
them, you're
is
good.
different than hurting them.
As long as you don't hit them, you're good.
Listen, cuckoos are just down for basically anything. They are fearless creatures that, like, well, you're not hurting me, so this is fine.
You want to fly? Let's fly. You want to chuck me? Let's chuck me. Oh, you want to fight? Let's fight.
You didn't kill me in one hit so that you could have your food? It's time to fucking go.
It's time to fucking die, bitch.
Rain of feathers shall fall upon you. You tries to hurt us.
The golden goddesses are like,
So he gets up.
should we make them the strongest beings on the planet? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck it, we ball.
Give them a great
Fuck
peppermint.
it, we ball.
But if they're mad,
We learned that phrase from the last world.
They also told us to make chickens dangerous as hell here, so we did.
Yeah, it's weird that somebody wasted their wish on that. The next world you make,
Someone's really
make it fucking weird as hell.
Fuck it up, like really bad.
Here's a list of all the things you should do to it. Yes. You carefully get yourself up.
So he gets up.
You look about the area. You don't see much of anything, except you do find that your door has been closed. As you look around where you are at, you find over by your table there appears to be a set of dishes put onto there, including what appears to be a plate that has some kind of eggs on it. You realize at this point that most likely Shefos appeared here at some point. He might not have picked you up because of all the cuckoos.
He did not want to, in fact, hurt the cuckoos. He's very much like, I am big, they are tiny. If there are any eggs left that weren't devoured by the cuckoos.
Nope, everything seems mostly fine. There's like a little bowl
there.
covering it, like one of those like little things. If you pull it off, it's still hot. It's great.
Oh hell yeah! He'll eat breakfast, and then he'll head out for the day.
You know that apparently you guys were waiting for Kuro last night. If you want to head back toward the main house.
Yep, that's what I'm. This is what I need.
Okay.
Yes, I'll go to the house.
And of course, Ronan,
Hmm.
you find yourself entirely in Clam.
Hmm.
As you wake up, you look about, you do notice that there is an Obra sleeping around you. You find that for some reason you are holding an Obra. You know for a fact you did not go to bed in a position where you'd be holding an Obra, and you also just had a talk with gods, which means you probably weren't dreaming to hold an Obra, which definitely means she put your arm around her. Like, oh no, Ronan. Ah, man, you totally put your arm around me last night. What are you talking about? You were sleepy. But you do find, as you look about, that it does appear to be somewhat morning. You have been placed in your bed. Obra does appear to still be sleeping, potentially because of the whole Sacred Realm scenarios. She does not seem to wake up even as you move on the clam slightly.
Hmm. He will just kind of sit there for a while. He will kind of lay there for a while, not removing his arms.
You lay there for a little while. As you do, you look at Obra for a little while, but then you sort of let your mind wander a little bit. You look beyond her over toward the little end table you had, the one that had the cup that she had duplicated that one time. Both of them are still there, by the way. As you do notice, there is a small note below one of the cups.
He will, I guess, pull himself up as softly as he can. Probably gonna cause some kind of movement.
As you move about, you do find that around the clam as well, you do see that there is a Z seemingly over there. Potentially he had came to try to help you or to try to find you at some point. But both Obra and Z are currently in the home with you. You find over by where the note is, despite you moving to get to it, Obra does not seem to wake. You do go and grab it. As you do, you find that the note seems to be from Obra. As you go to read it, it says, "You passed out last night. I don't know what is wrong. I feel similar. Perhaps it's to do with that place. That being said, I have something to tell you about what I learned there. But I'd like you to go to the desert without me. Until you reach that place. Then bring me there.
He will look from it back to her, and he will go and sit back on the bed.
You do notice she does slightly stir when you do that, but she is still somewhat asleep.
And he'll just be there for a little bit until she rises.
As you wait there for a little while, you do note that one of the two does start to rise. Z seems to start to wake up as you sit there. Z seems to have laid themselves over by the flatter part of your little fish pond, your little fish tank. As he just seems to lift his head up like, Ronan, are you awake?
He'll like wave to him.
Ronan! He like flutters down onto the ground. He doesn't walk. He doesn't fly. He just walks the rest of the way, and then just like climbs up onto the clam.
Help him up.
Obra said you collapsed, so I came over.
Yeah, I think the Divine Realm just kind of took it out of us.
It probably took it out of everyone that went there. It's a little harder on mortals, though, so I'm surprised you're awake. I'm surprised you woke up before me.
Let's take it over there so we don't wake her.
Oh, most likely she'll be out for another hour or so, maybe longer.
Well, she said she had something important to tell me, so I don't want to do anything before that. Also, don't want to go to the desert before saying goodbye.
We're on a bit of a time crunch, though, aren't we? We only have 5 days now to make it there and to go into the spirit temple.
You're right.
I'm not saying we have to. I'm just saying that, I mean, she must have left you a note for a reason, right?
Yeah, she did.
Like, looks down at her. She's just like still just laying there. Her pose at this point is still just like as if she was like holding on to a hand around her. Whenever she was writing it, I tried asking her about it, but she said it was something that you should know. So maybe she asked something about you? Oh, she also said that wasn't big enough. He points over toward the tank.
What do you mean?
She said that wasn't big enough for what you wanted.
Oh, that... Whatever about that.
Looks over toward the doorway, looks back to you. We could carry her back with us if you want. She probably won't wake up.
This is more comfortable probably than that.
I wonder if Hadar or Galen's going to wake up. I know that Galen's closer to God, so maybe he will, but Hadar had the same thing.
I couldn't tell you.
He flutters up around you. I'm gonna try my best. I know that all of you said that I could hopefully fix people there. So I'm gonna try to do that. I've been practicing.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you'll do great. He will look back to Obra. And he will he will go and gather another piece of paper and write on that himself.
What are you gonna write to Obra?
Might need to take off soon. Received your message. It'll... Fuck, what do I say? What else do I say? I'll be sure to do what you asked. I'll miss you, basically.
No.
Is what he says. And if you need to contact me for anything, you can use the violin to do so.
It's very true. Good job reminding her of that, because I did not remember.
Yeah, we've never had to use it.
It's something she might use, actually. Because I forgot she had a way of doing that. Let's go. If she remembered, then she would have probably put on there, like, I'll use the violin and tell you later. But yeah, you leave that behind. As you do, you look outside. It is getting into late morning.
He will give her a little kiss on the head, and he will gather Z, and he will be off to the main house.
Okay. I'm gonna put all of these guys just hanging out in the corner here. Nice hangout corner. Adam would not be here anymore. Adam would definitely be going to find Radon. I was just like, Adam, you're not here anymore. You left already. All right. Polo, Ronan, Marco, you guys would find yourselves making your way back into the main house at some potentially stunted times between each other. We can ignore that. As Polo, you would have immediately went over toward where the kitchen is. You would have found that inside of the kitchen, most of the people who are kitcheners are here. All the kitcheneers, Mary, Gary. You have Garf, and of course a sleeping man in the corner. You see the sleeping Marcus just off in the corner, just like, he's definitely not avoiding his family. What are you talking about? Marco, you would do the same. As you would get back here, you would find eventually a Polo feeding a doggo and a dragon. And Ronan, you would be there last. You would make your way there, and you would see the two of them there. I would say that at some point, Gorthos, in your Donu body, you would drag yourself up after spending the entire night making a target dummy for your mage friend that wouldn't immediately burst into flames when lightning was cast on it.
Obviously. It's the most perfect training dummy that's ever existed.
You made like a simple one in the beginning, and then he just like attacked it with lightning, and you're like,
of course you would.
I thought you were just gonna throw metal on it.
And then he, imagine he set it on fire, then he threw metal at it anyway. It's like, you...
So the rest of your night went to making it to where it was not flammable. You make your way in. You see a Gorthos slumping their way in, looking tired, which is weird because Gorthos can't be tired.
You see, he's like, you hear the metal dragging across the floor as he sits and just thunk.
Rough night.
Long night.
A lot night.
Seems to be every night for some of us.
Well, us had to build a metal scratching post.
Huh?
Figuratively.
But you are metal scratching post right now.
But
Yes, he is. Why were you three unable to sleep?
well, they slept a lot. If they slept as much as Ronan did.
Yeah, I got a really good night's sleep, actually.
Good.
Passed out on the floor when I got back.
Yeah, same here. But the rest of the night was good.
Good.
I will say, Ronan, especially as well, you had a weird sort of emptiness kind of in the back of your mind as you have been going about things the last couple of days. Again, the one time you had tried to contact them in the back of your head before was moot. However, you do find that sort of emptiness, that sort of almost cavity that you had in the back of your head does seem to be somewhat alleviated now. It's almost like one day you stopped having a headache and you're like, fuck, I had a headache?
Oh, you mean from the attack where fucking okay.
Because something about you was hurt by that attack, but it is now seemingly alleviated.
Okay.
So yeah, you actually do feel like you had like a really good sleep.
So, like he said, a lot has transpired in the last few hours. Firstly,
You want our thing first or your thing first?
you all had a thing.
Together?
Oh yeah, we talked to the golden goddesses in our sleep.
You did what?
I knew he would react.
Also,
that way.
congratulations, Low Rule is real.
Yeah.
What?
I knew he would react that way as well.
He knew it. Those were not dreams. Those were real. He was two-dimensional.
And probably other things that you have mentioned were real.
Yeah, apparently this world has like a lot of different different parts of it and stuff.
Vindicated. Oh, it feels so nice.
It felt like he could have used some win.
Oh, he loves it when a boy is wrong.
You're the only person in Polo that got the information that usually people forget about things after they touch the Triforce, but usually people all talk to the Golden Goddesses. The reason you guys haven't is because you guys have either been to the Sacred Realm or have had gods around you or some other fucking shit.
I mean, normally people who have talked to the Golden Goddesses tend to forget the happenings about. But it seems that due to the Triforce, we are able to remember.
Due to the Sacred Realm. The Triforce is what they would use to talk to them. Yeah.
What? Due to the Sacred Realm. We were given the privilege of remembering.
Yeah, it turns out they actually weren't the ones who were responsible for the Agapika stuff. It was actually that one creepy skeleton robe-wearing guy.
The Sage of Life?
Yeah, that one. That's right. I forgot what his title was.
Wait, how did... Go to the
Well, he went after the other... He went after Hosier's brothers, so... he was probably planning going after the other two as well with the same method.
Everything
Or-
certainly does make sense in hindsight.
He does have some weird, crazy magics that change off your emotions, like what happened to Ronan that first time.
So if that works.
And wasn't that the same thing that happened to
Also, we got
Mr.
a gift of
Zolaire?
some
That
kind.
like his emotions went all crazy and he thought he was in love, or was, or something.
I
That's
think.
powerful. If it worked on a god.
Zolaire says that his feelings were genuine. So I think if it does not manipulate, it might enhance or multiply feelings.
It definitely
But-
was genuine for me, though I can't say that afterwards it might have been affected me once I left the Sacred Realm. Perhaps you're right that they only enhance or something like that, or maybe I was just blind. I don't know.
For now, we could assume if it is not manipulation, it is multiplication of emotions.
Almost as dangerous, in all honesty.
Of course.
The road feeling in you, right?
Yeah, the robe made
Or
you
the
feel like
cloth?
he was your best friend or whatever.
And then you use this magic to enhance it. That's a devious combo.
Yeah. So what was your thing?
Just burn.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh,
Whoa.
Emerald's about to
Emerald!
fucking disconnect, I feel.
oh no!
You see it?
Emerald, you're roboting.
Oh yeah. I scored them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
Bye, Emerald.
Emerald!
Oh, Emerald.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
No, don't be too mean.
Luigi time!
Here's
Fuck.
my dream. He's the green man. There he goes.
There you go.
Disconnected.
Hopefully that'll be fixed in a
And
hot
dropped.
second.
I miss Emerald now that he's
Oh,
dead.
he's back.
There you go, Emerald.
Oh yeah!
Hello.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah. You everything you said was bitty.
And then we heard,
Like,
oh yeah!
we heard like a syllable of whatever the fuck you were saying, and it was just, that's it.
Yeah.
It's okay,
I was
Emerald.
being dumb. Let's
It
switch over to the
happens.
other one.
One day maybe we'll all have land connections. It'll be fine. Anyhow.
Do you wanna repeat what you said, if you can?
I said that was a devious combo because of the cloth and the magic enhancing the power of the cloth.
Yeah.
Devious combo. It's like, oh yeah, Gorthos was your thing.
And then you said, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that oh yeah was oh yeah Gorthos.
Well, I didn't say the other Gorthos part then, because that's that the oh yeah would have been.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But then you died. It was fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And I died.
What was your part, Gorthus?
A connection has been successfully established with the desert. However, it was not without complication. It's in a tent about an hour away from the old Gerudo town. And Sierra had an inordinate amount of difficulties in getting even into the town. And Kuro just couldn't get in at all. By the time, indeed, apparently something about a year have not passed yet, or some excuse that means little. In the end, Kuro is currently missing.
Missing?
Missing.
How does a big hunk of man like him go missing?
When Sierra came back out, Kuro was gone, and the guards feigned any knowledge about anyone named Kuro.
What? That means they know then, right? They must have
Obviously.
done something.
Sierra and Skull Kid were the only ones able to get inside. And Skull Kid did not stick around with Kuro. but they've been able to give
That's where
some
he went.
insights. He's certain that Skokie can be everywhere if they so decide to be. But the desert is far more hazardous than even Gorthos could remember. Glass storms, things of that nature seem to permeate it now.
That sounds
Excuse me?
horrible.
Gorthos was
Glass
uncertain
storm.
if Skullkid had not collected some of the shinier parts of the desert, he would not have believed it either. But it was in his hands last night.
Gorthos
Shards
would
of
have
glass.
would have what appeared to be, if Gorthos wanted to show it,
Yeah.
a piece of glass around the size of like a glasses lens, but like a lot more like jagged all around
Yeah.
it.
He holds up this huge chunk of fucking glass. The desert seems to be kicking up storms of them, or a legend of the Gerudo at least seems to be creating them. Gorthos could not get any more out of Skullkid. They give a lot, but the picture's still missing.
Well, we should tell Gallon
We should.
if he's awake now. Looks over toward Polo.
Last I left him, he was still sound asleep.
He is in for a very unpleasant awakening then.
Mm-hmm.
Mortals going to the sacred realm, it's a little bit difficult for them whenever they come out. I was thinking that Gallon might be a little bit better since he'd had so much ties with the different gods and the fact that he's a voice for them, but
There is something else. Gorthos had a memory, a vision, powerful one. Perhaps magic of some kind. In the body of the wizard. A memory of Aghanim's projection guiding the living body to acquire one of the doorknobs.
Here?
While we were here, he knows it because the doorknob was in fact cursed in the vision, and even Aghanim made comment of not to touch it, whatever it was that we did to it.
What I did to it.
Indeed. But this is when they still had flesh on their body. It was strange having that sensation again. He just mindlessly puts a hand up to his helmet cheek.
yeah, for you to know exactly when, it probably would have been days before, maybe days before he would have expired outside of the water temple.
Could have been
Hours.
Could have been days, perhaps even hours before our own excursion to the water temple, where he died.
They
Aghanim,
took our doorknob. Does that mean that we should be able to be connected to where they're at? Or
with us as a suspicion, we've already found a location that it had been used in. You, at least.
Hmm.
that trap.
Indeed. It is I don't think that they were still able to get in here. But Aghanim was a projection. He was not truly here. He does not think anymore have gone missing. Once.
Would it have been that far back that we've had traitors in our house? Because how did the wizard body get in then?
Remember what we talked to about the witch's ghost lady over at the WitchCon? She said that the person there was really bad, the Sage of Creation. Do you think the Sage of Creation is the same person as the Sage of Life?
Aghanim is a very talented and abhorrent mage.
So he could just have free access to this whole house and everywhere it's connected to?
It's very concerning.
I think that
It
means
is.
that if he has, he always has. maybe
Out of
he only.
character, I thought it was the Sage of Black Magic that was the guy. I completely misread the whole thing.
Oh, that you guys assumed it was, yes.
Yeah.
But nobody ever asked him, Dompe about it.
Yeah.
Dompe would have been like, no, I didn't make a fucking house.
Why would I make a house?
Completely forgot that.
Yeah.
Completely forgot to ask. Oopsies.
Yet somehow I'm not surprised it was Agony.
I mean, who else better to impersonate someone like Dompe than someone who worked for him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he does seem to have a habit of impersonations. But in any case,
If you guys remember as
Yes.
well, whenever you this is a real throwback, so I want to know how you guys fucking react to this. If you guys remember as well, whenever you were watching the marching of Gidon back in the day, one of the people that he was marching with was the Sage of Black Magic, was Donpe. But your
That's
Dompe
right.
never said he was with them.
Oh my fucking god, that's why
he
we
would
were
have been in that graveyard the whole time.
Yep.
time. Oh my fucking god!
The only time he ever left was because of the demon stuff. And of course, whenever he was so-called quote-unquote summoned by the magic of the cards.
Yeah.
But that's just because of her special magics, not anything to do with him.
Yeah.
He was like, what the fuck am I doing
Yeah.
here? Hey, I'll kill you if I
Yeah.
touch you. Let me leave.
That's funny.
Oh my
Yes,
fucking god, we were just completely blindsided by this whole situation.
Should
Goddamn
we-
bastard man. Agata needs to die!
I mean, is there anything we can do to keep him out, or like, because that's a huge weakness to this place.
I
You could kill him.
I feel like if he could have shown up before, he would have. What is there anything here stopping him from just attacking us? Maybe he knows that there's too many people here, or maybe
I mean,
something to do with
maybe-
something we're connected to.
Maybe it's because we're the owners?
Is it
Now-
because of the ghosts?
You also now, it's not because you feel like it's probably not the ghost, because that would have been after that, but you do now remember as well, a few Sheikah got into your guys' place too, and you guys had no idea how that happened.
He's the one that let them in.
Well, then he has already done something.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted
Which
to make
means
sure
he-
you guys remember that.
I
So we
mean,
were like,
there
who was
is-
the betrayer?
there-
We didn't have any actual betrayers. They were in anyway.
The only possible way we can stop Aghanim from this point is to destroy Aghanim. If there is some way to stop him from having control of this place, Gorthos most certainly can't figure it out.
We can at least let everybody know. I can go do that. I'll start with
Please.
Ivori. She'll have something maybe she can do.
Hmm.
You said so I'm waiting.
It's nothing.
Okay, bye.
Go.
Z immediately starts flying over toward where the where WitchCon is.
The wizard body also seems to be more active than usual, much like Atalanta was.
That's good.
He kept throwing things at the wall. He had to build something to keep it occupied.
So that's why you were talking about the metal scratching post.
He set the other one on fire. But it seems that Aghanim did something to them. Some kind of wards that broke their will. That one kept breaking free, though. Even after all the reapplication, he still tried to save Aster. It's infuriating to know that this person died so young. So much potential.
As Gortho says that, there is a bit of a silence around. However, you guys do find that it is easily broken because of a person entering the room. Oof. You see what appears to be a sleepy-looking Gallon walking inside. As he does, he has a fairy in one of his hands, just sort of lazily off to the side. They are themselves looking like they are just floppy, like you know how you pick up a cat from like the center.
Yeah.
That is what Aster is right now. As Gallon just goes,
fairy.
"Hey guys, long faces," walks over,
Terrible things.
You
Good
cannot
things.
see
Good morning.
flops Aster onto the thing like, here you go, here you go, but here you go, da baby. Leans over, just sort of lays his head over toward Polo, his feet in the other part of the chair.
Oh dear.
Are you truly so exhausted, or is this an act?
Oh, there is some kind of magic going on. I do not under. I'm glad you got up. You ripped up all the bed. The bed ripped all of it. That you did. Sorry.
I needed to get out, so I used Soler's power because it seems you had bundled me a bit too tightly.
Oh yeah. I tried to get the ropes out too, but he kept on saying it wasn't necessary. It was really funny.
I see.
I know those would hate to spoil your mood, Gallon, but
You'll
we
find
have
it hard to
made-
do that. He just has his head in Polo's lap.
you see
Oh, it'll
the
be
ever
there.
you see the ever so subtle turn from Gallon to Polo from Gorthos' helmet.
So comfy.
So who's going to say it?
Hmm?
You want to tell them?
Garland, before you get too comfortable,
Oh, I'm preparing myself to shoot up with a start and fall off. Don't worry. It'll be hilarious.
it seems that Brother Kuro has gone missing.
He does not shoot up and fall off. He just sort of lays there for a second. His eyes like get a little bit wider and he just looks up to you. What? Did he not show up? Do we not have a way into the desert?
We do. Sierra has connected it to a camp outside of Gerudo Town, but when she managed to get out, and hell, he was gone, Gallon, and the guards have no idea who Kuro is and didn't see anyone disappear.
Sisters.
Sierra's resting
Ronan,
right now.
can you grab my feet so I can get up and don't have to fall onto the ground?
There you go. Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. He like lifts up from the from where Polo is, just sort of like inching closer toward the seat. You having the legs, he's just like.
Also, apparently there are now glass storms going out throughout the desert.
He holds up the big jagged chunk of glass.
Glass storms, like
Sand glass, yes. As far as I can understand.
oh
Do you
weird.
know
That-
of a
that
do you
never
have a
happened
le-
before.
Do you happen to know the legend of a woman that makes glass in the desert?
Yeah.
So did Kuro, and so does Skullkid,
I
as
mean-
little as a story he can recall
I mean, she doesn't do that though anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, it's Grandma.
Oh,
Kuro saved Skullkid from being torn to shreds by it. His own arm getting torn up, but
Apparently, Grandma used to be able to control a lot of different energies all about. That's why she was training me to learn different kind of magics. She knows basically all of them. Whenever she was, storming about, apparently in her youth, she used to be able to make the desert so hot it would melt. This is not the correct
Interesting.
music for talking about melting deserts. Let's
Yeah,
go to
no,
the
it's not.
Sunlands. There we
Cool.
go. She used to be able to make the desert so hot the sand would melt
Interesting you brought that up. So, Kuro, as Skull Kid recalled, mentioned the desert being much hotter than he recalls. And the sand shimmering with glass.
Maybe somebody figured it out? There weren't any great mages around other than me, though. Maybe a different Gerudo from another tribe. No, there wasn't anybody around who could use magic like that.
So now.
It's just me. And I don't know if I can do that. I mean, maybe, you know, if I really tried and applied myself and, you know.
You already have the fire thing down.
Yeah.
Then it seems that we wouldn't have to worry too much about you getting
And I can
hands
fly
on
now,
that
so,
thing.
you know.
That just means you need to work with your wind magic, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to be able to get much of anything out of Grandma talking about the past, though. She doesn't really do that.
Surely she must have some pride in that. Considering some potentially young upstart is trying to piggyback off her own legend. Copy her own tricks.
And you can try to go after her pride if you want. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't usually work out for anybody who does it. If we wanted to have her tell us anything, then we're going to have to probably find them.
Then we'll do that. If Sierra's memory served her right, your old stomping grounds is not but an hour away from that town as well.
Oh, if it's a like camp right near the town, about an hour away. I think I know the guy who owns that place. We saw him a bit over in Kakariko, but he might have made his way back there by now.
Perhaps she does recall some. Well, good then, if that is the same camp.
If it is, then my mom should be there.
They're still alive? I think North was just under the wrong impression.
Just like blink, blink. Yeah, Dad too. Hopefully.
Northos thought.
So I guess when
Usually-
you said the village raised you too.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess some of us assumed
Oh
that
no.
your parents weren't in the picture.
My mom is the only person there who I don't call sister.
Huh.
And my
Well,
dad, I
suppose-
only ever got to see like once a year.
Mhm. This is a
Until
testament to
I
Northos'
wasn't allowed to go in there anymore, but then I didn't really get to see my dad much anyway, because I was off adventuring and stuff.
Well, forgive Gorthos with the assumption he's not very well versed in Gerudo culture for some unexplainable reason.
Got a penis.
No. Not anymore, he doesn't think.
Have a spirit penis.
Probably the deep masculine voice.
Oh, people don't usually understand that part until they're aware of Gorthos' truth.
What are you saying, Polo?
Well, with the right mask, he could simply, well, conceal his identity.
Yeah, we could dress him up in like really pretty like Vi clothes.
Gorthos is a skeleton.
I mean,
Were he still in the position of Atalanta's body, then
Am I right? Is it
could...
Vi or Vo? I think it's Vi, right?
Vo-
Vi is
yeah.
girl, Vo is
Fuck
male.
yeah, I'm great.
Yeah. Were he to have Atalanta's form still, he could pass through. If not for a little while. But we'll have to find a different way in.
Do we need to go into Gerudo Town? Aren't we going to the?
So we're going to the temple, yeah.
Same problem.
No, remember they let guys in there.
Yeah.
They were all talking about that all the time. I mean,
Perhaps then
we might have
it-
problems because we're trying to go in there and like usurp them or whatever, but they don't know that yet.
Hopefully.
I mean, I'd really like to see what they're doing with that place over there, but same time, I feel like if Kuro is anywhere, it has to be beyond those walls they made, right?
I would guess.
And that's most likely where Vega is and Rocket too, as well as Zelda. And who knows who else?
We still don't have a lot of time. The gate is open. You can go.
Then we should go.
Do we need to pick anybody else up, or should we just go like this? Where's Obra?
She wrote me a note asking that I go on without her for now until we get to, it was the temple, right? Digo?
Till you get to the Spirit Temple, yeah.
Yeah, until we get to the Spirit Temple.
So are we bringing a doorknob?
I was gonna bring a doorknob in particular.
Couldn't hurt.
But
Dorthos has discovered that because the living body of the mage already took one, he is unable
Marco's like, I'm going to
any
take
more.
one of them in particular. I was like,
I'm gonna go. I'll take 2 doorknobs because you want another doorknob. I can take another doorknob. and
you want a
make the other
doorknob? You guys want
even more
doorknobs? I can get a
expensive.
doorknob for you. You want a doorknob? I can get you a doorknob.
Y'all want a bunch of doorknobs? I can get a bunch of doorknobs.
Watch this. Uses my magic, immediately feels bad, falls on the ground. I'm playing.
Fucking used it, dies.
Nah, you're probably
How do I
fine.
feel?
You're probably
How do I
fine.
feel about that, Deco? How am I feeling?
I'm saying right now, you probably feel like it's something that may be impossible to you. However, as soon as you think it might be impossible to you, you see a bit of a glow on the back of your hand.
I believe I can do that.
It's
It's almost as if there's some kind of a binding on you, stopping you from doing a thing that you might be able to use a certain thing against to get rid of it for a bit.
legend.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
With a sheer
it's all coming
with a
together.
sheer sense of power.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys
Oh, yeah.
gather yourselves, and by that I mean you're able to collect everything that should go with you. You have grabbed Dawn. You have grabbed
You
Magic
also grabbed
Frog.
Prince.
You have grabbed Ophi, although Ophi is always with you. Who you're grabbing else?
Do we also grab the prince? Because she did want her whole thing to be in the
Excellent.
desert.
That is true. Rudon did make you guys promise to bring her there.
And it's like, do we risk not taking her and her going in on her own? If she finds out it's connected?
She would absolutely slip through.
She would have her prisoner with her.
All right.
We would have to drink it on through the desert. Unless
Can
we
you just
can
imagine? I want you all to imagine right now Rudon walking toward the desert, one side of her Gidon, the other side of her Adam.
All 3 of them dying in the heat. Of
All
this
3 of
even
them
more
exploding in
utter
the heat.
desert.
Well,
Can we explain that the desert is truly inhospitable at the moment because of the
Gorthos
danger?
thinks to show the child would be the best way to explain it to them. It's not like the door is one way anyway.
You guys-
Besides, we can promise to bring them there, not to escort them across the entire thing.
You guys will find that preparations will have gone ahead. We can talk about specifics on preparations just in case we miss anything later on. But you guys do go and at this point collect the three fish that are going to make their way with you, your fishy friends, and a single frog.
Probably leave Magic Frog behind because he'd be really fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, Magic Frog's gonna hate it there, but he'll go if you tell him to.
He will tell Magic Frog to stay behind for now, and he can come in with the Obra cavalry in a bit.
You can tell him to go to Obra.
Yeah, go and heckin' be with Obra and protect
Obra.
Yeah.
Magic Frog will look at you. Will give a ribbon of acknowledgement.
Thanks, buddy.
But also he's sad.
I know.
Don's just like,
only for a little bit.
Holy shit, a desert! I can swim. This is perfect.
Don's like, oh, cool. It's hot here. I love it.
Finally,
it's not cold and wet.
You guys will find that going and finding Radon is relatively easy. They are easily found around the town, since one of them is a humongous fucking bright red Zora.
Yeah.
With a cloak. But I'm pretty sure it can still fly.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes, he can. He can 100% still fly.
He could go away.
I want you all to imagine for a moment you left Radon behind, and then like you go to pass the walls of the Gerudo town, and you just see Gidon flying, one hand holding fucking Radon, and the other just like dragging along the ground at him.
Like a dust trail behind him.
Ow, 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 ow.
No. You guys go to collect them. They are very easy to find. You tell them that you're going to take them to the desert like you promised. And again, like you said, we'll see how the reactions to actually getting to the desert will be. I do have one final thing to throw onto the board, because we haven't seen it since literally the backstory game. You guys come out of a large tent.
Hey.
Over at a desert encampment.
There's a grid.
It does have a grid, yes. It has a grid because it was gonna be used as a fight if Gallon got in a fight while he was there. Yes, you guys would find yourselves coming out from a large tent there. We'll make it bigger whenever we actually put you guys around here. As you guys do, you do find that over at this small encampment, where there are many more tents that aren't shown here, there's a couple like just outside of it as well. There are mostly what appears to be women who are standing among people here. Some of them mostly looking as if they're Hylian or human. However, there are a couple of people here who seem like they are I swear to God I can speak. There are some of them who do seem to be they are Zora, though they have like little hats and shit on them. You find yourselves stepping out into the encampment belonging to Sun. As you see all these women looking about, some of them going to others and speaking to them, holding out pieces of paper, you guys see just outside of said tent that would make your way over through here, there appears to be a large bulletin board. On this bulletin board, you see dozens of pictures of men, each of them showing that they are missing. As you guys have now made it to Sun's encampment, where all of the women of Hyrule have come looking for their fucking husbands.
Oh my God.
At which point, Gallon looks around this and going like, that son of a bitch. Because you guys weren't here for the Jasna games, but Gallon seems to think that Sun is just after his mom.
Oh no, we've seen those jokes.
Just looks around at all the women, looks around just like, that son of a bitch. That asshole.
It's her problem.
As with an angry Gerudo male in tow with all of you, I think we're gonna end things there as you guys finally make your way into the deserts. And yes, as you guys come out of it, it does seem like, despite knowing that it was supposed to be hot in the desert, it is slightly warmer than you would have expected. As everyone gets out, ready to move on, I think we're going to end things off there for the night.
Yeah.
We did it.
God, I'm so glad that the fucking things worked out the way they did with Obra, and I got this gem, because otherwise I'd be fucked here.
Yeah, it would be very bad for you in this place. You would have to wear a hat like all these Zora women's. Then there's Rudon, and they're like, nah, I can handle.
He just instantly collapses.
They just come in like fucking Patrick going into Sandy's house.
What even is this place? There's no water here.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it.
They just fucking look at Gal and they're like, damn, bitch, you live like this?
There's just like a look of like surprise, fear, and disgust on all of their faces. They look at Gal. No.
Poor Adam. Adam's got the worst of it.
It was
Of the
just supposed
three.
to be Radon and Adam was coming here, and now Gidon's here, and I'm like, okay.
Actually, no, I have to, like, this is gonna sound funny, but because of how the sun works, Adam does have the worst of it.
Yup.
Oh God, right.
Also Gorthos and Ronan have the worst of this.
Ronan's gonna be fine because of their tropical thunder gem they have on them, where they can live in all the tropical weather and be all fine and be
It's
nice.
gonna be so hot to the touch whenever he does his healing. It's
Yeah,
I think I would call an
Gorthos is
arid
also-
desert tropical. Tropical usually still has humidity.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just playing around.
Also, Gorthos inside of a fucking hulking suit of metal
I'm
armor.
just imagining Gorthos walking around, not really knowing anything, but he has like a constant heat line surrounding him. Marco goes,
Just
"Hey,
cuss.
Gorthos, how you doing?" Like pats him. Ah!
That's yeah.
Touching Gorthos is a third-degree burn.
I like to imagine that while in the desert, Gorthos has like an aura of heat damage that people get hurt when they attack him.
Yeah, if they attack him, they take like one fire damage.
Yo, people that touch Gorthos immediately get the dry effect.
Give Gorthos a hug.
He just has an aura of Mexico filter all over.
Don's like, oh yeah, finally somewhere livable. As he came down from Death Mountain.
Finally, a normal place.
It's gonna be so sad when we get rid of the extra heat.
Oh no, a normal desert.
Oh no,
A normal-
desert.
Oh no, a normally hot desert instead of a phenomenally hot desert.
This truly is the black dragons of the desert.
The black dragons of the desert, the black dragons of the desert, or the black dragons of the desert, or the black dragons of the... Anyway, everybody, we're going to be ending things here. We're going to end the recording right here. I hope everybody had a good time. And next week, we'll most likely finally see at least one of the cities of the Gerudo, whichever one we end up going toward, whichever one we end up having to see what's all about at. And yeah. Other than that, a couple more NPCs may show up around here because I'm sure that some of them would immediately want to come, such as probably, I don't know, the hero, and also Sierra, who's pissed at this place. A couple more people will probably want to make their way here, but we'll get more into that as we get into the prep for actually going off into the deserts. Until next time, guys, like always. Later days.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.